And we're live, back with another one, ready, set, go, with your boy Dominic Rich. And in today's live stream, we have a lot to discuss. We have the last Premier League match there, of course. We got the Serie A. We got to take a look at Spanish Super Cup. I think there's some La Liga matches. We check out some, results in the lower league. And we talk a bit about some transfers, especially Chelsea continuing to splash the cash to conduct criminal activity in the transfer window. Another big signing, Mikhailo Mudryk. So the way we're going to start things off, we're going to warm things up, you know what I'm saying? And the way I like to warm things up, I like to just check out the lower leagues, the scores, and we're just going to talk League Two, League One, Championship, come to the Premier League, and then we'll go over to the other leagues afterwards. So last time I was live was actually a couple days ago, and I didn't talk about these League Two matches. So we're just going to run through the results for these League Two matches, check out the League One fixtures as well, the tables, and until we get to the Premier League. By that time, we should have, enough people up in here for when the discussion heats up. Leighton Orient 0, Borough 0, Salford City 2, Sutton 0, Gillingham 2, Hartlepool 0, Rochdale 1, Colchester 2, Mansfield Town 1 with a red card, Crewe Alexandra 1, Stockport 2, Northampton Town 0. Stockport would always be a special place for me because when I went to England, that's where I stayed, in Stockport. You know what I mean? So always be a special place for me, man. Carlisle 2, Newport County 0, AFC Wimbledon 0, Bradford City 0. Was a red card in there. Maybe one or two. Don't know, but we're not going to go deep into these matches. Tranmere 1, Walsall 1. Another red card. A lot of red cards last match day there. Swindon Town 5, Grimsby Town 0. We're going to check this one out. Okay, so one goal each. Charlie Austin, remember him? All right, Johnny Williams. Okay, this Swindon Town team got some, old Premier League talent in there, man. You know what I mean? Pretty sure that's Johnny Williams, that Welsh guy. Charlie Austin. Where he used to play for, man? Was it Southampton, Stoke? What? Can't even remember. Hepburn Murphy. That's a familiar name as well. Came from one of those Premier League clubs, like a failed kind of kid. So who's in charge of them? Milden Hall. I don't know this guy. But very, very big win there. Very big win by Swindon Town. All right, so we move. Harrogate Town 1, Stevenage 1, Crawley Town and Doncaster postponed. So after match day 27, this is what the table looks like. Leighton Orient up top, looking poised to be promoted to League One, 57 points. Stevenage, 52. Northampton Town, 46. Carlisle fourth with 42. Salford City, 41. Swindon Town with 41. Rounds off the top 6 there, guys. You see Bradford, 7. Borough, 8. Mansfield Town, 9th. And Stockport, 10th. So not really going to go through all the teams, but you see down towards the bottom of the table, Gillingham with a win. First in a long time. They're struggling. Hartlepool, Rochdale, Crawley Town, Harrogate, Colchester, all at the bottom. So big up everybody in the house. Make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button. See the stats. Sam Hoskins with 16 goals. Christian Dennis with 14. Andy Cook with 13. Danny Johnson, 12. And Josh Gordon with 11. Ben Whitfield with 10 assists. Elliot Watt with 9. Owen Moxon, Tom Nichols with 7 each. So you got Jordan Gibson and Mitch Pinnock with 6. So that's what's going on in League 2. Let's check out League 1, guys. We're warming things up. On ready, set, go. There's a game going on right now between Peterborough and Port Vale. It's 2-0 to Peterborough on the road. Remember, guys, ready, set, go. This is what it's all about. Checking out other leagues, not just the Premier League, not just doing Premier League previews and reviews. We're a bit multidimensional here. Big up Angel. Criminal activity, bro. Criminal activity. Chelsea, this is probably the most money that Chelsea have ever spent in a transfer window, by the way. In a summer, by the way. You know what I mean? Just so you know. I bet if it was Man City doing all of this, you guys would have been talking about it. You guys would have been screaming Man City financial fair play and all of that stuff. Come on, man. You guys are so biased. Biased. When it comes to Man City, yeah, it's not okay. But when it's Chelsea and Barcelona and Real Madrid, yeah, they could do anything that they want. PSG, they could do whatever they want. But when it's City, yeah, you guys talk about it and talk about financial fair play and all of that. Come on, man. Come on. So let's go back to the 14th. Let's run through the League One fixtures. If you're watching a replay, thank you very much. Do appreciate you coming through for yet another live stream. You guys are indeed the real deal. So MK Dons 0, Lincoln City 0, Exeter and Forest Green playing to a 1-1 draw. Bolton beat Portsmouth 3-0, big result. Cambridge and Morecambe postponed. Shrewsbury beat Burton 4-0 on the road. Ipswich Town 1, Plymouth Argyle 1. Accrington Stanley 2, Bristol Rovers 0. Fleetwood 1, Oxford United 2. Wickham 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Charlton 2, Barnsley 0. You got Cheltenham 2, Derby County 3. Port Vale right now playing against Peterborough, trailing 2-0. So this is what the table looks like. Plymouth Argyle doing really well, but falling back a bit there with those 2 draws, 58 points. Sheffield Wednesday on 55. Ipswich Town, 51. Derby County, 44. Bolton with 44. Bolton have been slightly improving season by season, though. So give it up to Bolton. Barnsley, 40 points. Peterborough, 7th with 38. Wickham, 38. Bristol Rovers with 37. And Exeter, 35 there. So go down to the bottom of the table. You see Forest Green struggling. Burton, MK Dons, Cambridge United, Morecambe, Accrington Stanley, all, down there towards the bottom of the table. So in terms of the stats there, guys, you see Aaron Collins with 13 goals. Johnson Clark Harris with 13 as well. You got Sam Nombe with 11. You got Victor Adeboyejo with 11. Colby Bishop, Connor Chaplin, Giovanni Brown with 10. So Aaron Collins, man. Guys, do we have to keep an eye on this guy named Aaron Collins? He got 10 assists, and he also has 13 goals for Bristol Rovers. Where's Bristol Rovers? Bristol Rovers are 9th. They should be doing a lot better than that, though. Aaron Collins, man. Look out for that name. Could be a player picked up by a club like, let's say, Bournemouth, Southampton, So Giovanni Brown, he also has 9 assists, so he's a player that we got to keep an eye on as well. Leif Davis, Morgan Whitaker, Barry Bannon, Corey O'Keefe, Joe Ward, Nathaniel Mendez-Lang, remember him? Sam Nombe. I think he used to play for Cardiff or Swansea, one of them clubs, man. Mendez-Lang. So that's what League One looks like, guys. Let's check the news. Let's see if there's anything worth talking about here. Let me see. Javier Simons from Chelsea to Charlton. It is a good potential move. Would he start? What would he offer? Okay. Had enough. Jerry Barton doesn't mince his words on Burnley loanee after Bristol Rovers spell. Okay. Paul Heckenbottom has major cause for worry that could hamper Sheffield United promotion bid. We're not going to go deep into these things, though, but yeah, we're not really going to go into these things. Nothing really to talk about. So let's go to the championship, guys. Championship, ready, set, go. We're just catching up, reacting to all the big scores around European football, right, guys? Bundesliga coming up when? This weekend? Is it this weekend for the Bundesliga? Wow. Did it start already? I think it's this week, in the middle of the week, man. So we got to touch on the Bundesliga too, guys. Can't forget about the Bundesliga. January 20th, I think. Yeah, it's this Friday. So we got some time. Definitely got some time. But the championship, man, let's take a look at the latest scores in the championship. And Match day 27, Rotherham 4, Blackburn Rovers 0. 4 different goal scorers there. All right. Burnley 1, Coventry 0. Give it up to Burnley, man. They're doing really, really well. Jordan Bay in the 82nd minute as Burnley look poised to get right back to the Premier League. And the thing about Burnley too, right, and what's interesting, if Vincent Kompany continues to do well with this Burnley team, he could end up being Manchester City's manager in the future, like when Pep leaves. You see what I mean? So by then, if all goes well and Vincent Kompany, let's say, gets his team promoted back to the Premier League and he survives and he keeps doing well with Burnley in the Premier League, then we could see Man City being handed over to Vincent Kompany, right? Which would be crazy. It could be a bit irresponsible, but I think a couple seasons would already give him that experience he needs, like in the league and helping Burnley like get back in the Premier League and all. And the kind of football that he plays, man, it's some really, really attractive football, man. I gotta say, really, he got Burnley are not the same Burnley under Sean Dyche. Let's just put it that way. They are not. They're really not. So in terms of some comments right now, big up to Donovan McCrabb in the house. Angel, you guys should. I don't want to hear you guys talk. I don't want to hear no Liverpool fans talk about how the takeover and the Qataris, because you guys were the ones who were calling us oil club and we owned by the Middle Easterners and all of that. And, so I don't want to hear y'all talking about this. Seriously. I really don't. You see what I'm saying? I really don't want to hear none of it because y'all are a bunch of hypocrites. You see what I'm saying? Because look at this comment. Damn, the Qataris are buying Liverpool so we may spend big and Klopp may walk. Like, come on. You guys are just going to be doing the same thing you criticize Manchester City and PSG of doing. Same thing. Same thing. That's football fans for you. Very, very fickle. Very fickle. I'm going to keep it real. Y'all are too fickle, man. Y'all are too fickle. When things are not working out for y'all, you guys criticize the other team that's winning. But when you're doing the same thing and getting success, then it's all right. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. But Sheffield United 3, they're doing well. Stoke City 1. Iliman Ndiaye, Jane Bogle with the goals. Nick Powell for Stoke. So Paul Heckenbottom and Sheffield are climbing, and they're looking good to return to the Premier League. Sunderland 1, Swansea 3. This game, Joel Perreault, Liam Cullen, Ollie Cooper. Dan Neil for Sunderland, Luke O'Neill sent off. So we go Reading 2, QPR 2. Jeff Hendrick for Reading scoring the goals. Wow. And Tyler Roberts for QPR. Remember, Tyler Roberts couldn't score to save his life for Sheffield United. So I think that was Tyler Roberts is from Leeds. Sheffield United is another guy that couldn't score any goals, man. Can't remember his name, but Tyler Roberts was definitely from Leeds United. He didn't score a lot of goals either. But Preston 0, Norwich City 4. David Wagner in charge of Norwich these days. Timo Pukki with a brace. Kieran Dowell with a brace. Preston smashed up at home. Luton 2, West Brom 3. Carlton Morris, Elijah Adebayo, Darrell DK for West Brom, Jason Molumby, Connor Townsend. So, big win for West Bromwich Albion. Bristol City 4, Birmingham 2. Antoine Semenyo, Naki Wells, man from Bermuda, right? Mark Sykes with a brace. Troy Deeney for Birmingham and Reda Kadra. So big win for Bristol City there. Middlesbrough 1, Millwall 0. Marcus Forbes, the formerly of Brentford, with the only goal, 54th minute. Big win. Watford 2, Blackpool 0. Toby Adeyemo 2, 72nd minute. Ishmael Assar from the penalty spot in the 87th. Big win for Watford. Cardiff 1, Wigan 1. We had in this game Colum O'Dowda and Will Keane scoring the goals. Late goal there by Will Keane to give Wigan a point. Big point there for Kolo Toure. Kolo Toure played for freaking City, Arsenal, and Liverpool. Give it up to Kolo Toure, man. Give it up to Kolo Toure. You know, but he's struggling with Wigan Athletic as their manager. Is he still in charge? I think he is. Let's find out. Because they haven't been doing well at all. I think he is still in charge. Yeah, Kolo Toure is still in charge. And we do a quick check of Kolo Toure's Wikipedia page there, guys. City, first Arsenal, Manchester City, and then Liverpool. Listen, high-profile career of Kolo Toure, man. Won a title with Arsenal. I think he won one with City and didn't win anything with Liverpool. We check his honors. Definitely Premier League here with Manchester City and one with Arsenal. Part of the Invincibles as well. So won a FA Cup, won 2 FA Cups. Didn't win the League Cup, but very, very, very good career there. Went to Celtic and did well too. So, well, he didn't play a lot of games for Celtic, but still. So we went down to the Kolo Toure rabbit hole there, and you see Callum Robinson these days playing for Cardiff, formerly for Sheffield United, I think. Romain Sawyers, formerly of West Brom. I like to go down to the lower leagues to just see where these players are playing these days, man. Seriously, I like that. I like to be like, whoa, that's where this guy's at? Wow, I didn't even realize he was still playing. So let's keep it moving. Huddersfield won, Hull City won. That's the last game. Oscar Estupinian with a late equalizer in the 98th minute. He's been scoring a lot of goals, though. And Mikhail Helik, 21st minute for Huddersfield. So, guys, in terms of the championship table, yeah, we're going to get to the Premier League. We're almost at the Premier League. So, for those of you guys who are very impatient and left the live stream because I'm talking about the championship, we got to know what's going on below the league, right, guys? We got to be informed. So, when teams come up, we already know what's going on with the teams. We could analyze things properly. And, we could stay up to date. It's ready, set, go. That's what it's all about, right, guys? So Burnley, 59 points, and they have a 16-point lead over Watford, which means Burnley are pretty much assured a place in the Premier League next season. I don't think they're going to get caught. The way they have been playing, the momentum that they have, the wind in their sails. Listen, Burnley, full speed, straight back to the Premier League, and you got to give them a lot of credit for putting Vincent Kompany in charge, allowing him to, shape the team the way he wants to, his philosophy. And they're playing some really good football, man. And I'm not just saying that because it's Kompany. They're actually playing some good football. And the recruitment, it's really, really good. Phased out a lot of the players that were in the club. And when you look up Burnley was a club that was basically, filled up with a lot of players from Scotland, Northern Ireland, basically UK and Ireland. But it's not that. It's a bit different these days. So you got to give it up to them. They changed their whole, they changed ownership, actually. They got taken over, and I think that's the main reason why they have been doing so well. Sheffield United with 54 points. Give it up to them. They look like they're coming back up. And in terms of the playoff spots, we got Watford, 43 points, Middlesbrough, Blackburn Rovers, and West Bromwich Albion, with Norwich right behind, Millwall right behind, and Luton Town. Sunderland, Swansea, they're not too far. QPR, Preston, Reading, all 37 points. And the teams just behind them, Coventry, Hull, Bristol City, Birmingham, Rotherham, Stoke, all over 30 points. But the teams struggling, Cardiff, Huddersfield, Blackpool, and Wigan. So it's very close in the championship because Wigan in last place with 2 wins would jump, a little up in the table. And so goes to the other teams down there that are struggling right about now. So that's one thing I like about the championship. It's the competitiveness. Chuba Akpom do have 13 goals. Oscar Estupinian, 12. Victor Gayakoris with 12. Carlton Morris, 11. Iliman Ndaye with 10. Timo Pukki broke into the double figures as well. Will Keane, double figures. Zian Fleming with 10. Not a lot of, prolific assist getters, but Daniel Barsaleh from Rotterdam. Iliman Ndaye, he's been having a good season. Ryan Giles, Elias Chayer, Moroccan, Jack Clark, Josh Brownhill, Ken Simmer, Matt Grimes, Sorba Thomas, Stefan Johansson, and Thibaut Pukki with 6 assists. News in the championship. Look, I think I missed something, right? I think a player actually scored from a corner during the last match day. So forgot to mention that. And let me see if I can identify which team actually did it. Can't remember exactly who did it, but I think it was actually I think it's Rotherham. I think it is Rotherham. Let me see if there's a news here. Let me see. It might be Rotherham, I don't know if you guys are aware of that, what happened there. But yeah, someone scored an Olympico over the weekend. So big up to the boy Demo Dre in the house. Nice to see you, Demo Dre. Big up Adam the Great. Big up to AD in the house. BLE Reviews, Yo-Yo Master. Everybody in here. Big up to you, man. Big up to you. So look, man, I think we're hyped. Do not get hyped about this whole Chelsea thing. Don't get hyped. A lot of transfer coming in, but these transfers to me, they might blow up in Chelsea's faces, man. We're going to talk Chelsea. Don't worry, we'll get there. We'll talk about them again. We've been doing that a lot lately. We're going to talk Chelsea, you know what I'm saying? So, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to move on, and let's go to the Premier League, right? First thing I want to talk about in terms of the Premier League, it's the awards. We had some awards being given, and let's take a look at those, right? Bazunu claims Castro save of the month. So give it up to Gavin Bazunu. That'll help him grow in confidence in his first official Premier League season with Southampton, former Man City youth player. Dominic Gray scored the goal of the month against Manchester City as well. So give it up to Dominic Gray for the equalizer there to gain Everton a valuable point. I think that's the last points that Everton actually picked up. Arteta named manager of the month. Give it up to Arteta, November, December manager of the month. They've been on fire. Well-deserved, if you ask me. And Martin Odegaard, player of the month. Martin Odegaard, man, listen. Martin Odegaard is a player I would take at Manchester City. And I have a feeling it could happen. But the only thing that could stop him from joining City is that he's Arsenal's captain. And he might actually decide against the move. Because if you really look at his career, Arsenal are the team that saved Martin Odegaard's career. They took him on loan from Real Madrid, I think twice, 2 seasons in a row. He was there on loan until he finally signed permanently. They made him the captain, and he is one of their most prolific players. I think if Odegaard gets injured, Arsenal are done, pretty much. He scores a lot of goals, and he provides a lot of assists, and he's just the heartbeat, one of the heartbeat of Arsenal's team. Well, one of the major organs, I should say, because you only have one heart. You see what I'm saying? And he might be the heartbeat. Saka might be the lungs. Martinelli might be well, I could say Odegaard might be the brain. Saka the heartbeat. Martin Odegaard the lung. Martinelli the lungs. You see what I'm saying? So it's pretty tricky, but a lot of key players, man, a lot of major players, at this Arsenal team. But we're not going to go down that rabbit hole right about now, but I'm interested to hear what you guys think about that. Oh, yeah, he did go to Sociedad as well. Very good point. Very good point. Very, very good point. So you have a good point there, right? But I have to say it has to be Arsenal because let's say he had gone back to Real Madrid. I forgot he went on loan at Sociedad too. But let's say he had went back to Real Madrid. The same thing would have been happening to him. You see what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Patrick, what do you think? What do you think, Patrick? You take Odegaard in the future? Dish out 100 mil to Arsenal? Yeah, everybody's spending 100 mil these days, right? Why can't we do another... When was that the season we spent a whole lot of money? Was it 17, 18? Why can't we do one of those seasons again? I think if we don't win the title this season, City will spend 300 million pounds next season. Remember, I told you that. And guess what? I don't want to hear nobody come talking no shit about it because it's going to be okay. Everyone's doing it. Chelsea's doing it. Man United's doing it. And we haven't been doing it, right? You see what I'm saying? You feel me? So we're going to make it happen. We definitely going to make it happen. But the thing about what I like about Manchester City, right, is that we buy smart. We just don't go out there and hijack deals. We're not into the hijacking. We identify a player that we want. And if the player decides that, okay, let's say the club decides that they don't want the money that we're offering. Let's say we offer 65 million and the team wants 80. Okay, bye. We're not doing it. The deal's gonna fall through. That's what I like about Manchester City. But Chelsea, man, I'm telling you, it seems like they'll do anything to get players these days. What they're going to do is they offered the player, any players see Chelsea hijack, they offer them a better salary and they offer their club a higher transfer fee. And that's how they're able to beat out Arsenal. And Arsenal are not willing to compete. Arsenal are doing it similar to Manchester City in that they're willing to go up and negotiate and get sucked into, rising their price. But once Chelsea came in, Arsenal couldn't, they couldn't go up, man. They couldn't go up. You see, I think you, Angel, I think you want me to go down this thing, I think you want me to go down this rabbit hole because I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll show you something, right? I'll show you something. Look at this. First and foremost, let's go to Transfer Mark. Let's go to Transfer Mark, right? And let's check Pep. Let's check Pep Guardiola. We're going to check Pep Guardiola, right? And this is the point I'm going to prove right about now. Let's check Pep Guardiola. And we're going to pull him up. And what we're going to do, let me show you guys. If you don't know how to do these things, let me show you what to do. You go, you check manager career, purchase players. You go down to purchase players, right? And the thing that I like about Manchester City, we don't loan nobody. We don't loan nobody. You know what I'm saying? We don't loan nobody. Maybe we did in the past, not doing it anymore for years. We don't loan nobody. So we go and we identify a player that we want and we buy that player. Okay? We're not going to loan nothing. Manchester City. Let's go. And I just want to do this to prove a point and shut up some people, you know what I'm saying? The total players purchased, including the City Group players. City Group players that, purchased under the City Group umbrella but came through Manchester City, 117 players, right? Transfer activity. And that is player expenditure. Player expenditure and players with fee. And that's players with fee. Only 36. So let's say 36 players. So it's not like a bunch of players, right? 36. 36. Look at this. Look at this. Let me scroll down to the bottom here. Let me scroll down to the where's no, not the bottom, right here. 1 billion, guys. 1 billion. Let's round it off. 1 billion spent. It's right there for your eyes to see. We're not going to factor in wages and all of that right now, but 1 billion spent. We're talking about transfer expenditure, right? 1 billion. Most expensive player, of course, Jack Grealish. 117 million euros, 100 million pounds. The next highest, Ruben Diaz, Mahrez. Just cracked 70. You see what I'm trying to say? Just cracked 70 million euros. So people could say what they want about Manchester City, but when they've spent, they've actually been successful. You see what I'm saying? It's not just mindless spending and mindless hijacking of other teams, transfer targets, but identifying a player that you want and just going in and sign that player. You see what I'm saying? And that's how City do business. So the point I'm trying to make is Angel is talking about 300 million is criminal. That's basically 1/3 of what Pep Guardiola spent in what would be 7 seasons. 1/3. Okay? 1/3. 1/3. 1/3. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Chelsea right about now. Big up to Doug in the house. Nice to see you, Doug. Look at this. Look at this. Let's go to Chelsea, and you guys will see exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to only go on this season. Current season's transfers. And the total spent, well, Doug has a number here. Doug's number is 468 million pounds spent by Chelsea in the last 6 months, right? This right here is expenditure, 425 million euros, right? Wesley Fofana, Mikhailo Mudryk. The Mudryk fee is a little lower than what we heard. But that's probably the initial money, and then there's, the Mudryk fee is kind of low. I thought the Mudryk was 100 million euros, but there might be, what do you call it, add-ons and things in there. But Cucurella, look at this. Fofana, Cucurella, Mudryk, Sterling, all over 50 million, right? Badiashile, Koulibaly, Chukwuemeka, Santos, Aubameyang, Fofana, João Felix, 11 million loan fee. Gabriel Slonina, who's coming in from Chicago Fire. Zachariah loan fee. Okay, guys. And how many players did Chelsea bring in? Not a lot. You see what I'm saying? It's not a lot of players. You see it right there. You see, look. It's right there for your eyes to see. $500 million. That's the point I'm trying to make. $500 million spent in one season, and people are crying about Pep Guardiola spent $1 billion since he's at Manchester City. You see what I'm trying to say? You see exactly what I'm trying to say. Last season, how much did Chelsea spend? Last season. Let's take a look at last season. Last season, Chelsea. They didn't spend a lot, 124 million. The season before, there was one season they spent a ton load too, right? So one season, they also spent 124 too, bringing in Lukaku only, basically. It was a 2020-21 season. Some season they spent some ridiculous money. Not this season. Yeah, this season they actually spent 247 when they brought in Havertz, Werner, Chilwell, Ziyech, Mendy. You see that, right? You see that? I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. People criticize the wrong club. You feel me? One manager. Look at stability. And I'm not even going down a City rabbit hole or any kind of rant right now. It's just to prove a point. Just to prove a point. Chelsea buy players like a trending on Twitter. Basically, once there's a player that's hot, Chelsea goes out for that player. And once they link to another club and Chelsea say, you know what? I think, the other club already did the scouting. You know what? Gotta be good. He gotta be good. Let's go in for him. And Chelsea are one of the clubs that signed some of the biggest flops out there. So give it up to Chelsea, man. Definitely give it up to Chelsea. Thank you very much, Mamadou Tiam, for dropping the $2 super chat. Do appreciate you. Big up to Doug. Nice to see you in here. Big up to Patrick if you're still in here, man. AD, thanks. Pookie, Pavlo, everybody in here. Young Flex, El Don in the house. Nice to see you guys in here right about now, man. But look, let's talk about the results over the weekend, man. Some of these I have not watched the highlights, to be honest, guys. I actually cut down on the amount of Premier League games I've been watching and actually tuning into some other stuff. But let's go back to Friday where Aston Villa beat Leeds 2-1. Big morale boosting goal for Leon Bailey in the 3rd minute. Emi Buendia in the 64th. Patrick Bamford with a consolation goal in the 83rd as Leeds did, fight back very well at the back end of that match. I did watch the last 15 minutes of this one, however. So Unai Emery, he's come in and he's really stabilized Aston Villa as a club where under Steven Gerrard, they look like they were bound for relegation. Definitely. You can't argue that. So Leeds under Jesse March right now, they trickling in the points. They look good. They're making some signings, and the aim is just to stay up right now in the Premier League. And for Villa, they're 11th, looking to break into the top 10, looking to get closer to Liverpool and Chelsea there. So they've been doing very, very well under Emery, who's picked up more points since he came in than Steven Gerrard did. And for Leeds, they're 14th, 17 points. They need to get over that 20-point mark and then look at getting that second 20 points to actually survive the drop. They've basically halfway through the season, but the second half would need to be a lot better than the first half. So we keep it moving indeed. Guys, let's talk about the Manchester derby, man. You know what I mean? Let's talk about the derby. I've dropped a video on it already, but let's discuss the derby some more, okay? So if you guys have anything to say about the derby, please let me know. If there's anybody in here who want to jump on to the live stream and give me your thoughts on the derby, let me know. I'll send you a link on Twitter. We could, chat a little bit about the derby. I don't mind doing that. So if there's anybody in here who want to give their 2 cents on the derby, talk about whether you think Man United, got a kind decision. But I think it was blatant daylight robbery. Daylight robbery. That goal should have never stood. That Bruno Fernandes goal should have never stood. Grealish in the 60th minute. Bruno Fernandes goal in the 78th minute. It should have never stood. Marcus Rashford, the 82nd minute. We just switched off after that goal, man. In 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes, we lost the game. And this keeps happening too often for Manchester City. Way too often, man. We look like we're in cruise control. We're winning the match, and then magically, poof, we lose. It happened in a Real Madrid game. Remember that? We were cruising. We were going into the final, and then we just lost. And I'm fed up, man. I'm really fed up. Fed up of that. Big up to Yusuf in the house. I'm really fed up, guys. Really, really fed up, man. It's really annoying because we went to Old Trafford, and it looked like we were going to pull off the league double after that 6-3 drubbing we dropped at the Etihad. And even though we didn't look good at the start of the game, we came into the game and we looked better in the second half. Pep made that change by bringing on Grealish. And I'm telling you, it worked. And I was like, wow, masterclass by Pep. But then the whole offside goal happened, and it just messed things up, man. It really messed things up. And people have been saying that, oh, you know what, people, everyone's messaging me or tweeting at me and saying, or dropping in the comments of the videos, they've been saying that, oh, City don't play the same with Erling Haaland. Of course, you can play the same with Erling Haaland, but they're saying that, City looked better when they had a false 9. But guess what? When we had the false 9, you know what they said? This is what they said when we had the false 9. You would not win the Champions League without a striker. You need a striker. That's the one thing that City's lacking is a striker. Whenever we lose, I think City need a striker. Could you guys make up your minds, please? Make up your minds, man. Make up your minds. I think the team is just fine. You see what I mean? We were cheated. We were robbed. And I'm going to maintain that stance. We were robbed. I really don't care if Marcus Rashford did not touch the ball. But the rule at that point, it needed to be, put aside for a second, and you needed to look at the situation. Okay, the rule said he don't touch the ball, but was he influencing play? Yes, he was. You see what I mean? He was standing over the ball, running over the ball, and he stopped the player from our defender from reaching the ball. And the fact that he was so obviously offside, the players with the flag going up, and that's the other thing too, right? The flag even went up. So with the flag going up, it's like, okay, the flag went up, and players probably looked across, saw that the flag was up. Bruno Fernandes rushed in, smashed the ball in. Edison, couldn't attack the ball because Rashford was there, of course. So, man, that goal should have never, ever stood. It should have never stood. Never. I don't care what nobody want to say. That goal should have never stood. If it was against any other team, that would have been chalked off. Any other stadium, as Pep said, that goal would have been chalked off. It was a bullshit decision and a very controversial one that cost us 3 points. I don't care. The goal should have never stood. If we had scored a goal like that, I would have felt the same. I would have felt the same. Of course, he was interfering. What do you mean he wasn't interfering? He was obviously interfering. Obviously interfering. If that was Man United versus Liverpool, Angel, and that happened, man, you guys would have still been talking about it. You guys would have talked about it for months. You see what I mean? You guys would have talked about it for months. Because we should have never conceded that goal. When you feel injustice, and the same, these things keep happening. They keep happening to us. These decisions, it keeps happening to us. Remember when we played against, I'm not saying we don't get decisions going for us, but in crunch matches, when we played Tottenham in the Champions League a few seasons ago, when Llorente hands the ball, literally hands the ball, ended up scoring. Goal given. Real Madrid, Laporte, I think, a handball. The ball hit a part of his body, went onto his hands, given a handball still. It doesn't matter, man. When it comes to Manchester City, you're always going to get those decisions. And I see Liverpool fans are talking about, oh, they're going to get taken over by Qatari owners and all of that stuff. Wait until that happens. And you guys get more money injected in the club and start making those big signings and splashing the cash. You're going to see the injustices that's going to come against you too. Watch and see. Remember, I told you that. That goal should have never stood. But at the same time, credit to United for staying switched on, doing what they had to do, attacking, going for the win. They got the win. Garnacho came on. He spun Nathan Ake, crossed the ball in, Rashford tapping. Credit to them. They went on and got that second goal. Even though we conceded that first goal that should have never stood, we should have never allowed United to score that other goal. That's the thing too, right? Think about it. And we couldn't get Haaland in the game. We really couldn't. Couldn't get Haaland in the game. And we haven't been able to do that often enough in the last few games. I know he has 20-something goals in the league, but the last couple of games, you know what I mean, it seems like he's gone absent. He's gone missing. But you can't expect the man to basically score a goal every game. He's already overachieved. Almost the same amount of goals that the Golden Boot scored in the last 2 seasons. So you really can't criticize the man too much. He's going to have some bad games. Let's admit that. Not every game is going to be, oh, he scores a hat-trick or a brace or he gets a goal. No, it's not going to happen. That's unrealistic. But the way he started, that's what we came to expect. But overall, I think Pep put out the best possible team he could put out. He made some good decisions, by with his substitutions, by bringing on Grealish, who's the only substitution he made. Only substitution. And I think maybe in the end, we needed to bring on a Julian Alvarez to give us that impetus. Ilkay Gundogan as well could have came off the bench and give us the impetus we needed. Because I'm telling you, man, Bernardo Silva was absolute dog shit in this game. Kept giving away the ball, kept passing backwards, sideways, didn't offer anything going forward. And I don't know if Bernardo Silva's head is at Manchester City anymore at all. I really don't know. Phil Foden's been a bit off his game. A lot of City fans been crying that we need some dynamic wingers, which could be true. We're missing that Sane, that Sterling effect on the wings, right? That pace. Because Foden, he ain't that quick. He got a little pace, but he ain't that fast. Mara's the same thing. Haaland is super quick. But I think if we had that devastating winger, we could have offered some more going down the flanks. And I think we are missing something like that these days. And look, I'm pretty sure Pep's identifying what we need. And when the summer comes, we go into the transfer window and we're going to get what we need. But what we're not going to do, I don't think we're going to panic and jump into the transfer window now and, mess up the whole rhythm. Basically, I think that the way the club's structured, they already know what they need to do. We're bringing in a young midfielder as well from Argentina, and I think he's going to come right into the team. He's not a big money signing, but someone who's going to come in and offer some impetus off the bench. And that player I think his name is Peroni. Can't remember his first name right now, but Peroni is his last name. And who knows, maybe he could be another gem that we sign. But we can't make this result throw us off too much. You see what I mean? Good win for United. I don't respect the result because of that goal. It should have never stood. But doesn't matter what I think or what I say, it's 3 points for United still. They're 1 point behind us. But what I have to say, it's still a good feeling to be ahead of United. Still a great feeling. And we cannot lose momentum. That's back-to-back losses. Southampton in the cup and now United in the league. It's not very often we lose 3 on the bounce. So best believe, when's the game? Thursday, I think. We got to bounce back against Spurs. And with Spurs losing to Arsenal, that's going to be, a game. That's going to be a big game. But for us, it's going to be at the Etihad. So that's a good thing as well. But it doesn't matter. We still lose at home anyways. But for United, you could see their team, Ten Hag, he's picked up a lot of momentum. He's been doing well. Can't deny that at all. And finally, United is seeing, some success with a new manager. They've tried, and a lot of them have failed. The David Moyes, the Mourinhos, the Ole Gunnar Solskjaers, the, Ralph Ragnicks, bringing back Ronaldo, still fail. This season, it seems like there could be some success there for United as they're still in the cup, the Carabao Cup, and they are the most favorites to go on to win that Carabao Cup right now with Newcastle United, and I think there's Nottingham Forest and Wolves still in that cup, if I'm not mistaken. So, Southampton, pardon me, Nottingham Forest and Southampton, or Wolves and Southampton, I can't even remember right now. But give it up to United, though. You feel me? So I might be bitter about the goal, but I can't deny that they have improved tremendously under Eric Ten Hag. Big call to have Luke Shaw center back when you have the likes of Harry Maguire and Lisandro Martinez on the bench, though. Malacia had a good game. I think he handled Mahrez very well. Wan-Bissaka, saving his United career with Dalot being injured. So you see how things work out sometimes. Casemiro, I think a lot of decisions didn't go our way with some of those Casemiro fouls. Most people come out and say, whoa, it was a Casemiro masterclass. He's been playing well for United, I got to say. But it's the decisions, though. Good decision by Ten Hag for playing Fred and Casemiro in the midfield. They showed up their defense very, very well. Eriksen, I don't think, did a great job throughout the game, but Rashford has been deadly. Bruno Fernandes, he's always present. Martial, pretty much dog shit for the longest while. So for the lack of a better word, though. But we needed to be better, though. It was a derby, and we switched off in the last 15 minutes of the game, something that we cannot keep doing going forward. Edison need to save some. I don't want to curse, man. I've been cursing a lot. I don't want to curse. I don't want to stress myself out. Too many goals conceded, in my opinion. Need to pull up. Look at Ramsdale, right? Look at Ramsdale. Look, it's just an example, man. Look at Ramsdale. Look at Ramsdale in the North London derby. Pretty sure Tottenham had some really good chances to score. 4 to 5 good chances. Ramsdale stopped every single one of them. You're not going to get that with Edison. And from what we learned, you're not even going to get that from freaking Stefan Ortega either. Because it seems like he's fallen into the mold of an Edison too. But another loss. Back-to-back losses for City. And this is what a lot of football fans enjoy, though. They do enjoy City losing. So you guys are, at least you got what you got your wish. You got your wish. Oh, you said Rashford was offside. How was he not interfering? My comment was it wrong? Oh, that's what you said? Oh, I read it. Okay. My bad. Let me see. Marcus Rashford was offside. How was he not interfering? Maybe a little bit of dyslexia kicking in here, man. Maybe a little bit kicked in there. But look, thank you very much for at least acknowledging that, because he was interfering. And I'm not even going to go into that anymore. I talked about it in the video, so you guys go check that out. Guys, make sure you smash up the thumbs up button for the live stream. It's ready, set, go, number 9. We are keeping this series going because it helps us to actually know what's going on in world football, European club football, basically. And just to, keep up to date with all the leagues instead of just talking about the Premier League, man. Big up AD, not AD, but Adnan, who says most controversial offside call in a while. Refs got it wrong. Of course they got it wrong. Of course, man. Of course. When they scored, I was like, okay, they scored, but that's offside. That's offside. Flag up. Referee runs over to the official, the linesman. They had some discussion. Shitty players surround him. He probably got a call from VAR. He should have at least, you see what should have been, you know what should have happened? He should have been sent over to the monitor at least, because he's the one who ended up making the call, right? The referee made the call. So at least let him run over to the monitor and look at the thing himself to get another look at it. Just another look. Another look. Human decision. Go over, take a look and say, okay, I know the rule. I know what the rule is. He has to touch it, but look at the interfering. He was about to shoot. You see what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Come on. Anyways, man, talking about this a lot's making me hungry. I'm going to move on. Seriously. It's making me real hungry, man. Because you know why? It's taking a lot out of me. It's taking a whole why I went and clicked that, but we're not going to get a copyright strike for watching the highlights there. But look, it was not the most entertaining game. 8 shots for United, 4 on target, 5 for City, 1 on target. In the last 2 games, we've only had 1 shot on target, which is poor. We had 71% of the ball. But Bernardo Silva and Co kept passing the ball left, right, and backwards, never forwards. And you got to give Arsenal a lot of credit, because look at Odegaard, right? Odegaard received the ball from Saka, bam, in the back of the net. You see what I'm saying? He took a shot from distance, and this is something we're not doing. We got to do that. It might hit a body. It might go into the back of the net. We're not trying nothing. We want to walk the ball. We want to walk it in the net. We want to walk it in the net, though. So let's just go through the other results, man. I'm pissed off. Seriously. The more I talk about this, the more I get pissed off, because we should have never lost the game. And not as if City lose a lot of games, but still, we should have never lost the game. Wolves 1, West Ham 0. Look, I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the highlights, but Daniel Podence, he's been picking up a lot of, a lot of goals lately. 48-minute goal. West Ham, very, very poor this season. I don't know what's going on with West Ham, but they're down in the relegation zone, right? Podence, the only goal scorer in the game. Lopetegui with the win. Let's take a look at Wolves' recent form. They did lose the AFL Cup quarterfinals on penalties, but they drew to Liverpool, a game they should have won in the FA Cup third round. That's coming up. Whoa! I didn't even know this. That game's coming up tomorrow. Oh, man. So Wolves, Liverpool, the replays are tomorrow. Okay. The FA Cup replays are actually tomorrow, guys. So what we're going to do, since we're talking about that, and I don't want to forget, let's just run through the FA Cup replays that's coming up tomorrow, man. We got Forest Green and Birmingham, which is a third round game that was postponed. That's coming up tomorrow. Swansea play Bristol City. Accrington Stanley play Boham Wood. Liverpool play Wolves. And West Brom play non-league Chesterfield, as Leeds also take on Cardiff. So those are 6 FA Cup matches that are coming up tomorrow. And those are replays and a postponed game. So you see the 4th round's coming up on the 27th. Man City play Arsenal. Walsall play Leicester, and so on and so forth. But that's just to, get you up to date with what's going on in terms of the FA Cup, guys, ladies and gentlemen, right? And since we're talking about the FA Cup, we're gonna do a bit of go off tangent really quick, right? EFL Cup, those games are coming up, and they're coming up the 24th, guys. That's next week, I think. Southampton play Newcastle, and Nottingham Forest play United in the first leg of the semifinals. And we're gonna have a new EFL Cup winner. I really hope it's one of Forest, Southampton, or Newcastle, and not United. But I think it just might end up be Eric Ten Hag's first major piece of silverware at Manchester United. So we go back, guys, and we go back to the Wolves West Ham game. We scroll down. Wolves West Ham, Daniel Podence with the goal. And with that goal scored and the winner, Wolves jump out the relegation zone and they're 16th with 17 points. So Lopetegui's come in and he showed things up a bit. But what I like that Wolves have been doing is they bolstered their team. And this is what you should do when you're in trouble. You identify the problem and you fix the problem. You don't just let the club waste away back to the championship. You say, hey, man, we got some problems. We need to make some signings, and let's make those signings happen, okay? So in terms of the signings, I don't know if they've been made official yet. So if I go to Transfer Market and I click on Wolves, but they've signed Mario Lemina. Mario Lemina came in, and formerly of Southampton, Mario Lemina. Mateus Cunha was brought in and he was made permanent. It was originally a loan, but some of the demands were made in terms of the stipulations for the loan deal, and it's now permanent. In terms of some more signings as well, guys, these are the signings that they've made. They spent a lot of money, 149 million euros spent, right? Mateus Nunes brought in the summer. Gonzalo Guedes, Nathan Collins, all big money signings. Sasha Kaladzic, remember him? He's injured. He'll be back soon, or he might be out for the rest of the season, but he should be back maybe next month or the month after. Hwang Hee-chan made permanent as well. They brought in Boubacar Traore, midfielder there. But Mario Lemina, 11 million from Nice. Mateus Cunha on loan, but that's now permanent. They also brought in Diego Costa, who was actually a free agent. And there's been a few players that they've brought in as well that it's not actually, on the Transfer Market website as yet. But they brought in a Brazilian, and they're looking to bring in Pablo Sarabia from PSG. So I'm just going to do a quick search of Wolves here to just let you guys know that Brazilian player that they actually brought in, and let you guys know exactly who that player is. So let me let you guys know. So let me see. All right, Brazilian midfielder Joao Gomez will fly to England in the next hours, and that was yesterday, in order to undergo medical tests and sign as a new Wolverhampton player. And Wolves will pay 17 million to Flamengo. Also, Pablo Sarabia deal will be sealed next week. So look, Julian Lopetegui has brought back the real Wolves, says Max Kilman after the win. So give it up to Julian Lopetegui, man. And Wolves jump out the relegation zone. They're in 16th. 2 wins and a draw in their last 5. Lopetegui, new lease on life after being sacked by Sevilla. What they need to do now is to have a better second half than they did in the first half, where they only picked up 17 points. And when I say first half, I mean first half of the season. They're not out of trouble yet. They're still in hot water. Let's not get carried away. They're still in hot water because the teams below them could start picking up wins and they could go back in a slump and they could drop right back in the relegation zone. But what's working out for them is that Leicester and Leeds are just 17 points, and with a win or 2, they could jump all the way up to 12th. You see what I'm saying? So very, very close towards the bottom of the table, and very good on Wolves for picking up an important win against West Ham there and actually bolstering their team as they in this transfer window right here. The team's not bad. Hugo Bueno has broken through. Nelson Semedo, you know what he's capable of. He's not great, but, formerly of Barcelona. Collins did well at Burnley. Kilman's been a revelation. You know, Mateus Nunes and needs to step up. Ruben Neves, he's the mainstay of the team. Moutinho's coming back into the fray. Podence, Cunha. So they do have the personnel. It's a good enough team to stay up, but they just need that momentum going for them, though. As for West Ham, I don't know what is going on right now with them, but they need to really get back to winning ways, man. They're all over the place, and they've been very, very, very poor this season. Are they going to go into the transfer window? It doesn't look like it. What could they actually do? They brought in Skamaka. He's been only scoring goals really in Europe. Antonio is not really scoring nothing this season. But Bowen's been cold. Everybody's been cold, basically. Transfer window, they might have to go into the transfer window, but when you look at their bench, they got the players. They got the impact players, but they're just not making an impact, basically. Right? Something got to change. Maybe you got to sack David Moyes. And that would be very harsh because of what he's done with the club, what he's done in Europe and all. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a tough decision. Very, very, very tough decision for the West Ham board. Look, Mario Lemina even made his debut for Wolves. I didn't even realize that because I didn't watch the game. So Wolves are doing the damn thing, man. So let's see if they're going to survive. For West Ham, they had a lot of trouble. So big up everybody in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Elias Abs in the house. AD in the house. Appreciate you, AD. And AD, I've been seeing you. You've been putting in a lot of effort. Big up Elijah Lawson. You've been putting in effort in your thumbnails, bro. That's very, very good. I remember presentation is key. You can't put a lot of effort into a video and wrap it in foil paper. You know what I'm saying? You have to actually gift wrap the thing properly. Just giving you little tips, pointers. And I know you do take the tips and pointers. So I see the improvement. And congrats on Barcelona for winning the Supercopa de España as well. So we move, man. Forest 2, Leicester 0. Guys, didn't I talk about Forest the other day? Wasn't I talking about Forest? And look at that. I predicted them to stay up. I was losing a bit of faith in them, but they've really pulled things back, man. Back-to-back wins in the Premier League. And they even made it to the semi-final of the EFL Cup. So you look at that. Look at that, guys. 1-1 against Chelsea. Since the new year, right? Forest have said, new year, new club. 1-1 against Chelsea. 1-0 against Southampton. They did lose to Blackpool in the FA Cup, which is fine. That's fine because they made it up in the EFL Cup. You don't want to be in too many competitions and then you get, distracted from the main goal, which is to survive, your first season back in the Premier League. They beat Leicester, a struggling team. And I could put money on Forest beating Bournemouth as well, which would be 3 consecutive wins against 3 struggling Premier League opponents. And that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. When teams are down, you pounce and you pick up points. 9 of them. 9 points right now, massive for Forest in terms of their survival. They got a cup tie against Man United. Back-to-back games there. Semi-final and, first legs and second leg. And then they play Leeds. Another team struggling. So if you look at that, Leeds, Fulham, those are winnable games as well. I don't know about the game against City, but you never know. You see what I'm saying? You never know, man. You really never know. West Ham, another struggling team. Everton, another struggling team. Forest are staying up. Give it up to Steve Cooper. Give it up to Steve Cooper. They're staying up, man. They're staying up without a doubt. So Brennan Johnson with both goals in this game, 56th and 85th. I think both of these were like breakaway goals. So Leicester, man, that's another team. Leicester, West Ham, these teams have been struggling. But one player I want to identify here. I actually tuned into this game as well. I got to identify Morgan Gibbs White, man. He's really stepped up. Gibbs White have stepped up. And I'm going to go as far as to say this. I had a lot of doubts about Gibbs White, right? He was a Wolves player, wasn't making the grade at Wolves under Nuno. He was sent out on loan a couple times. He did well while out on loan. I can't remember the club he was out on loan at, but he did well on loan. They brought him back to Wolves. He was, getting that start at the beginning of the season. He started the season at Wolves, and Forest identified him as a player that could actually help them in terms of their, going forward. And they signed him for a record club fee. Big money. I was surprised when Morgan Gibbs White got signed. And he had a rough start. He really had a rough start. And you could see Forest playing their new Brazilian midfielder there too, Scarpa. You know what I mean? So they signed 20-something players, but the team's now gelling. Lodi. You have Lodi in the team. You have Gibbs White doing well. You have Freuler, who came in doing well. Mangala. All these guys are playing well, along with some of the players who were there before. So, but the only thing, though, another thing, just before I forget, Dean Henderson will be out for some time, which means that it will be Wayne Hennessy in goal. But that's not a bad thing either, because Wayne Hennessy does have Premier League experience, and Wayne Hennessy does, play for Wales as well. So, look, it will be a setback because I think Dean Henderson is way better than Wayne Hennessy, but still, it's not a terrible goalkeeper you're getting in goal. So they might take a hit, but I don't think it would be a significant hit. You understand what I'm saying? Especially in the cup tie against United. That might be Dean Henderson wasn't even going to play against United because he's still on loan from United, right, guys? Don't forget that. Still on loan from United. Right, guys? He's still on loan, right? I think so. Deal, I think, would become permanent at the end of, coming this summer. But I don't think, definitely he wasn't going to play against his parent club, Manchester United. So, anyways, Wayne Hennessy would have been playing in those cup ties there. So, see Wayne Hennessy on the bench there. Got Nico Williams. Sam Surridge came on. He didn't really look too good, though, I got to say. But Leicester, they got to pull their act together. They're in a lot of trouble. Brendan Rodgers, I don't know how he didn't get a sack yet. But what I think these clubs are doing, West Ham and Leicester, is they're repaying the faith in the manager, because the manager has done, big things for the club. Both Rodgers and Moyes, they've done well for their club in the recent seasons. So to sack them right away without giving them some more time would be very harsh. And the both clubs are still in I think Leicester is still in Europe, right? Did Leicester make Europe? I can't even remember. They're not in Europe. They're not in Europe. Right? Yeah, Leicester not in Europe. I think, West Ham, Leicester didn't make Europe this time around. It was actually West Ham that took over their European spot after they didn't do too well last season, right? So let me just double check that. Yeah, guys, it's a lot to process here. Leicester didn't make Europe. It was West Ham that took that spot. So it's just the managers repaying it's just the boards repaying the managers' faith. And I don't think Leicester might be even able to afford to sack Brendan Rodgers right now. I did see them linked with a couple players, but those deals are not even being finalized. And I've been seeing the players linked with other clubs, the clubs saying they're not selling their players and all of that stuff. So Leicester in trouble, definitely in trouble. So let's get back to the current season. You see Leicester in 15, 17 points. Nottingham Forest are in 13th, 20 points. So the first half of this season could be deemed a successful one, because if they repeat what they did in the second half, and I think they'll do a lot better than they did in the first half of the season, they're going to survive. 3 wins and a draw in the last 5. Very good revival there by Nottingham Forest. That's actually 10 points, man. So they went from 9 points. Well, they went from 10 points to 20 points in the last 5 games. So give it up to Forest. Big up to everybody in the stream, man. Big up to you guys. Aftab Jamal, I know you keep trolling, bro. Trolling. I don't know why. Just add something valuable to the stream, bro. You know, make a good point, man. United won. We know that. You don't need to be carrying on with it for the entire stream. It's unnecessary. Add something else. We're done talking about that game. Talk about something else, bro. Feel me? Like, come on, man. Come on. You're being a little ridiculous right now. So let's just go back and let's talk about this. I made a video about this one already. Liverpool fans in here, do not go anywhere. Do not run. Please, don't run. Don't go nowhere. Brighton 3, Liverpool 0. Where's Marcel today? You see? You see, right? Not showing up. Where's Marcel today? I told you guys Liverpool were going to lose this game. I know I said that City were going to win and Arsenal was going to draw, but okay, whatever. I can't get them all right. But I knew that Liverpool were going to lose. I called it, and I called it right, and people said I got an agenda against Liverpool. I ain't got no agenda. It's just facts. Oh, my God, man. Listen, I know you lost, but how are you going to lose this bad, though? 3-0 to Brighton. 3-0. Without even Leandro Trossard, who scored a hat-trick in the last game, where Brighton and Liverpool played to a 3-3 draw. Brighton have scored 6 goals against Liverpool this season. 6 goals. That is very unacceptable, if you ask me. That is way unacceptable. That is unacceptable. Liverpool are currently in crisis. Injury crisis. The club's in crisis. The performances, they have been poor. And without Virgil van Dijk, you telling me you're going to predict Liverpool to win? Listen, I don't want to be petty, but I could go around to all the Liverpool fan channels right now. If I go around to them and we check the prediction video to find out what the prediction was actually, what was actually the prediction for this game. And I could bet you that all of the channels predicted Liverpool to win. All of them. All of them. And even if Liverpool are not playing well, I'm pretty sure they're still going to predict them to win. You can't be doing that, man. You can't be doing that. You gotta have some meritocracy here. The next game, Wolves, Liverpool should have lost that game. They got kind with the VAR. Right, with the offside. The game against Chelsea is a massive one. This game is definitely a game to watch. Early Saturday morning, I'll be at work. I'll be tuned in. I'll be locked into this game. I'll be locked in. Liverpool's in the mud. Big time. And I did put out a poll. Let me go to that poll. Let me find that poll on my YouTube channel. And let's take a look at that poll and the results of the poll. And let's actually react to the results. It's still live and votes are still coming in. A lot of people didn't vote on the poll yet, but it's still going on. You know what I mean? I only dropped the poll 7 hours ago. So it's only fair, right? I made a whole video about the match already, guys. We're talking about the game a little bit. Solly March in the 47th minute. Solly March again in the 53rd. Really great goal. Danny Welbeck off the bench. Former Manchester United and Arsenal player to score against Liverpool. Must have been a joy. His first goal for the season. Solly March have been on absolute fire this season, by the way. And I think under Roberto De Zerbi, he's been doing very, very well. Graham Potter, I always thought March had potential, but he was underachieving, in my opinion. That's a big win, man. 3-0, that's a huge win. Liverpool, piss poor in the game. 16 shots for Brighton, 9 on target, 61% of the ball. Liverpool with 39%, 6 shots, 2 on target. Mo Salah, his name is on the team sheet, but he didn't really play the game. You see what I'm saying? Thiago Alcantara, Oxlade. But what did these guys do on the day? What did they do? Thiago, I think, what's that Thiago who gave away the ball in this game or something? Man, listen. Maybe I'm mixing up the games, man. Thiago has people. I don't know why people keep picking up for Thiago and saying he's doing anything good at Liverpool. Thiago has been poop basically poo-poo at Liverpool. And I'm going to maintain that. I'm going to maintain it. He has not done anything at all impactful for Liverpool. Nothing. Maybe something, but let's just round it off to nothing. You look at Martin Odegaard. Let's people might want to talk about roles and whatnot. You look at Martin Odegaard for Arsenal. Liverpool needs a player like that. You look at Kevin De Bruyne for Man City. Liverpool needs a player like that. The players that I see Liverpool being linked to, you don't need those players, man. If you do bring those players in, you have to get rid of some of them that you have at the club already. You're talking bringing in Moises Caicedo from Brighton, right? You bring in Moises. Caicedo plays deep. He's more defensive player than an attacking player, but he still does pick up the odd assists. The player I think Liverpool needs might be a McAllister, who could play a bit more advanced. You see what I mean? You put McAllister in that midfield, transformed. You drop Thiago. Maybe you go for a double swoop, Caicedo and McAllister. Play Caicedo deep, play McAllister more forward. And if you want to play Fabinho or Thiago in the team too, go ahead. You see what I'm saying? But Fabinho's not been playing well. Henderson has been dog shit as well. You see what I mean? Liverpool needs some midfielders that could actually score some goals as well. And that'll give the team so much. You'll have the creativity coming down the wings, and you'll also have it going through the center of the field. I maintain that. And I'm not going to change my thoughts. Levi Colwill, he's been playing well. He's been even linked with a call-up to the England national team. That's how well he's been playing. Estupinian, give it up to him, man. Give it up to Brighton. But what we're going to do, let's take a look at the poll, guys. Let's take a look at the poll on my community tab. And this is the poll that I made. I put out a poll on Liverpool here. And which European competition will Liverpool participate in next season? And we've had 275 votes, where 25% of the votes, right? 25% have said that Liverpool would actually make it to the Champions League. And if you do the maths, that's about 70 people. And I don't get it, though. I really don't get it. I will talk about the Super Cup, bro, but I'm talking about the Premier League, man. You got to wait, man. Come on, Izzy. Come on. You feel me? I can't mix the thing up. I talk about the Super Cup. I talk about it. Have some patience, man. But at the same token, 24% of people did say that they'll have none, right? Which is fair. Europa Conference League? Oh, man. And look at the emojis, guys. You know, I added a nice little touch to it there. 16% said Europa Conference League. 35% said Europa League. So Europa League is actually winning at the moment. And I spoke to a Liverpool fan at work, and I asked him what does he prefer if he doesn't get the Champions League, whether he wants to be in the Europa League or Conference League. He said none. He doesn't want anything. Because he said that we're going to laugh at them if they go in the Europa Conference League. Look, I don't mind seeing Liverpool in the Conference League next season at all, though. I really don't mind. That'll humble a lot of Liverpool fans. Sometimes in life, you need a little humbling to get back on your feet. You need to be humbled. See what I'm saying? Like, sit down. Humble yourself. So, what we got here? If we don't get top four, who would sign for Liverpool? Conference League incoming. Yeah, that's another thing that would influence a lot of decisions made by potential players that could come to the club. So we look at some comments here from this community tab. And guys, please, if some of you guys could remind me to check the community tab. Sometimes I put out some polls and I don't really do nothing about it, but I use them for my own data, but I don't really talk about them. Awaken World. Now that Newcastle are going to be an elite club, the Premier League really needs 5 teams in the Champions League. Look at Rangers this year. They didn't stand a chance. Yet last year's 5th place, Arsenal looked capable of winning the Champions League. I don't know about that, bro. But Harry Morgan said, all right, let me give you a like still, a heart. Harry Morgan I may hit your with a reply. I said, nah, let me leave it like that though. Harry Morgan, Liverpool fan here, and I voted for none. The owners and Klopp ego of not signing midfielders is a disgrace. I was just talking about the midfielders there. You know what I mean? Thomas Hall. I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I think they'll have enough to make Europa League considering the fight they showed in the second half of the season a couple seasons ago when they were struggling. However, I don't think they'll have enough for top four, as I think the current top four has been class above the rest so far this season. Very, very great comment, man. Very, very great comment, Thomas Hall. You know, great comment. I gotta drop a comment to this one. Great comment. You see what I'm saying? Great comment. I maybe I need to start a live show where I call it in the comments, where I just go in the comments and reply to comments. Victor Ojomo, Liverpool super fan, who says, "Don't worry, owners have bid to buy Liverpool already. Qatari owners, right? So when we get our new owners, we will be fine again. You should be scared of Liverpool next season because we are coming for every team at the quadruple. LOL. Okay." And I replied and I said, "You should be ashamed of yourself to talk about Qatar owners." What do you mean I should be ashamed of myself for talking about Qatar owners, Mr. Dominic? My reply is like, okay. You talk ish about Man City being owned by Middle Easterners, Easterners. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it, right? So why are people getting hyped up about this whole Liverpool takeover? You shouldn't be hyped up about it because you've been talking a lot of smack about PSG and Man City being oil clubs. Does Qatar produce oil? I don't even know. How does Qatar make their money? Qatar, oil. Let me see. Is Qatar an oil producing nation too? Let me see. Qatar oil reserves. Okay, yeah, they are. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. Guys. Oh, man. Liverpool are about to become an oil club too? Oh, my God. Look at this. Google. People also ask, is Qatar famous for oil? Does Qatar have oil? Look at this. Crude oil production is approximately 1,300,000 barrels per day, making Qatar one of the top 15 oil exporting countries and one of the world's major fertilizer producers. Oh my fucking God. Liverpool are going to become an oil club. You guys should be absolutely ashamed of yourselves. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Call Manchester City an oil club for years. The same like Newcastle. All the Newcastle fans. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves too. Talk a lot of shit, and when Newcastle were taken over by the Saudis, oh, now you're quiet about the whole thing. Like, come on, man. Football fans are way too hypocritical and way too fickle for my liking. Seriously. But anyways, man, I don't want to rub it in too much. Liverpool, they have been very, very poor as of late, and they dropped to 9th in the league, lost their last two games, and the teams that they lost to are teams that they should not be really losing to, right? 3-1 loss to Brentford and a 3-0 loss to Brighton. So Liverpool have not won any of their last 3 matches in all competitions. And they face Wolves tomorrow, a buoyant Wolves at home at Molineux in an FA Cup replay, followed by Chelsea, who are signing everybody these days. Everybody. Okay? So it's a tough road ahead. No Van Dijk to help. No Jota. No Luis Diaz. No Sadio Mane. No Gini Wijnaldum. I'm throwing these names in because Liverpool should have actually not be so cheap and tie these players down to long-term contracts, give them the money that they were asking for. But no, the negotiations didn't go well and the players went elsewhere. And while Gini Wijnaldum was actually that player that Liverpool is missing in the midfield. He offers goals, he offers assists, and he's a hard-working player. But no, you rather have Thiago Alcantara in the midfield. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. Anyways, we're gonna move. We're gonna move. Let's go back. Let's go back. I don't wanna rub it in too much, but it would not have been a good thing for me if Liverpool had won on the weekend and we had lost. Because right now, guys, the amount of Liverpool fans that you would have seen in this live stream, astronomical. Astro-fucking-nomical, man. You know, pardon the language, but it's 2023. I'm a bit more raw, bit more blunt. Anyways, let's keep it moving, man. Everton won, Southampton 2. I feel bad for Everton, you know. I feel bad for Everton because they show promise, but I don't know what's going on with Everton, man. Onana, 39th minute. James Ward-Prowse with a brace, 46th and 78th minute. Ward-Prowse just keep, being Southampton's savior. I did not watch the goals. I don't know how they were scored, but if we check Southampton, man, if we check him, let's check him, right? Let's check him. They beat City, and that was in the EFL quarterfinal. They beat Crystal Palace. Look who scored the goal there. Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse just keep coming up trumps, man. Look at that. They did lose. They did lose there, but they pulled things back in their last 3 games in all competitions. 3 wins. Nathan Jones finally getting the boys to click and to, adapt to his philosophy. And the only way is up for Southampton as they are at the bottom of the table with 15 points. But also Everton and West Ham on 15 points. Bournemouth 16, 17 for Wolves and Leicester along with Leeds. So with a couple more wins, Southampton could be jumping out the relegation zone. And they've been making quite a few signings. Alcaraz from the Argentinian League. They brought in Mislav Orsic as well. Impact players, man. So let's see how they fare. They have a Serbian owners, and I don't think he wants to actually go down into the championship. You jump into the championship, it's tough to come back up, man. It's really, really tough. Ask clubs like Stoke and Hull, and some other clubs that have gone down and not come back up. But Ward-Prowse with 46 and 78-minute goals. And let me actually see how those goals were scored, though. I don't know how they were scored. I didn't watch the highlights. I should have, but I didn't. Look at that. Let's go down. Ward-Prowse. Let me see. Oh, my God. This guy's ridiculous. From another free kick. From another free kick. He whips the ball over the Everton wall and Pickford does not even move. Another free kick, man. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, man. Let's go down. Let's go down to the first goal. 46 minutes. Ward-Prowse. What a goal. Southampton equalized early in the second half with a great goal from Ward-Prowse. Okay, all right. This was not a free kick, though. But Ward-Prowse takes a touch. Okay. Che Adams with the assist. All right. So, God, man. God damn. And the thing too, right? Aston Villa tried to sign Ward-Prowse. He didn't go. I don't know what happened with the negotiations there. But I've always questioned why no struggling club ever tried to sign this guy? I know he's the heartbeat of Southampton, and if they do lose him, they'll definitely go down. But listen, man, it's a dog-eat-dog world, man. You see what I'm saying? And if I identify a player like Ward-Prowse that he could actually add a lot to my club, I'm going in for him. I'm signing him. Forget about Southampton. I'm offering some big money, a nice wage package, and I'm bringing him into the club because he's a talismanic player. You could be in a situation where you need a goal, you get a late free kick, and he puts it into the back of the net. So Elijah Lawson is saying, here is why Liverpool will not sign Bellingham, because Bellingham will want to play UCL football next season, so he would join Manchester City. Let's see. Let us see where Bellingham goes, whether he joins City or Real Madrid or Chelsea or wherever he goes. Man United, maybe. Let's not count that out. That's a possibility. So let's see where Jude Bellingham does go. So, guys, we're going to just continue rounding off the Premier League results from the last weekend. And some of these games, I've talked about them already. The big ones, Arsenal versus City, and of course I talked about the Liverpool game, the Man City, Manchester United game. Brentford 2, Bournemouth 0. Brentford keeps doing the thing. Ivan Toney with a penalty, Matthias Jensen with a goal there. 2-0 over Bournemouth as Brentford continue to surge. Didn't watch the game. I gotta watch the highlights when I do have some time, but it's not really important to go down the rabbit hole when it comes to these matches at all. But Brentford at 8th, a team I predicted to get relegated. That's not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen. They've unbeaten in their last 5. I think they're one of the most informed teams. Their unbeaten run stretch about 8 games, and they're 8th with 29 points. As for Bournemouth, they're in free fall at the moment. They did pick up a win in the last 5, but that was 5 games ago, and they have 16 points. Jones, what's his name again? No, what's his name again, man? O'Brien. What I can't even remember the Brentford man, the Bournemouth manager's name. O'Brien, I think. Gary O'Neill. God damn. The way you're not winning, you're forgotten. But Gary O'Neill, man, give it up to Thomas Frank, man. Thomas Frank. I thought they were going to have second season syndrome, but nothing going on like that, though. So with that being said, guys, big win for Brentford. They're in great form. They beat Liverpool. They beat City. They beat Liverpool. They did beat Liverpool, right? Didn't they? Did they? Am I getting carried away with that? Wait. No. Yeah. Come on. They beat Liverpool. They beat City. They didn't lose. They didn't lose to Chelsea. They beat Chelsea too, right? Didn't they beat Chelsea? I can't even remember, man. Guys, so many games going on right now. It's like you can't remember everything. No, it was a draw against Chelsea. I swore they beat Chelsea recently. That was Fulham, though. But give it up to Brentford. They're doing the damn thing. Next game, guys. Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 0. Chelsea finally win a game. Kai Havertz, brilliant header. And Crystal Palace couldn't reply. I think they did put up a good fight, but they just wasn't clinical enough in the final third. 10 shots, 5 on target. 15 shots, 5 on target. Chelsea did create a good bit of chances. Didn't convert, some of the better ones. But I did think that they would have pulled back and win this game because they were really struggling, man. And the fact that we got to Chelsea, right? You look at this Chelsea team right now. Thiago Silva, man, what a defender. What a player. He was massive at 38 years old. Is he 39 yet? He was damn good. Badiashile made his debut, and he had a solid debut as well. Lewis Hall, he's growing in stature at left back, and he could be one of these Chelsea youngsters that break out and, turn into like a Reece James type player. Trevor Chalobah, he's been getting some game time these days as well. He's starting games ahead of the likes of Aspilicueta, Koulibaly. So give it up to Trevor Chalobah, because I'm pretty sure if you give Koulibaly the option of playing at right back, he will play at right back. He did come on and play at left back there for Lewis Hall when he came off. So, it's all about team selection. And Graham Potter, I think he didn't know his best 11, and he's getting there. He's getting there. You know what I mean? Graham Potter is a type of manager that actually needs time to get his act together. He did so at Brighton. It took him some time. Brighton looked pretty average for some seasons, barely getting over the 40-point mark until he got 51 last season, So, and look at what Brighton's doing this season. But look, Chelsea, given Carney Chukwuemeka his first Premier League start as well. Another poor game by Mason Mount, if you ask me. He needs to step up. But Havertz, who's been criticized. Havertz, I think, is not a striker. Havertz should be playing behind the striker. You see what I mean? I think that's the position that he will thrive the best in. Chelsea needs a main man up top with Havertz just behind him, right? But the thing is, with all these players coming in, how are you going to fit all of these guys? That's the thing, man. How are you supposed to? There's going to be a clear out. Some players got to go. Jorginho's got to go. I think Hakim Ziyech is going as well. Because I think there's talks that Pulisic could be leaving, but there's also talks that he's not going anywhere. But when you have Mudryk, Sterling, Pulisic, Ziyech, Havertz, Chukwuemeka. You got Jean Felix to come back after his suspension. What are you going to do with all these players, though? Mason Mount. Well, how are you going to Aubameyang? How are you going to fit all these? That's if Aubameyang lasts at the club. David Dacho Fofana, he's going to go out on loan. He can't fit in. He's not going to get any game time. You see? So that's the other headache there for Chelsea. But it could also be a good headache if the players work with the managers, because they're also in the Champions League still. So if the player work with the manager, you know, it could work out. Look at Loftus-Cheek. He's not going to get any game time. You see what I mean? Look at Cucurella. With Lewis Hall playing that well, you can't get no game. And also there's Zachariah to come back after his injury if they're going to sign him permanent. I doubt they'll sign Zachariah permanently. I doubt. Chelsea are all over the place right now, in my opinion. It's like Todd Boehly's playing FIFA with the league. $500 million spent and still probably more to come. Christopher Nkunku to come. So Nkunku is going to be the man who's going to play up top, I think. They might actually get rid of Aubameyang next summer. You know, so it's going to be a stacked up squad, but they have to find some sort of balance in the squad. And that's what Graham Potter is doing, and he needs time. He definitely needs time. As for Crystal Palace, they've been very inconsistent. I like the Palace team. You know, it's a very... I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, Vieira. It's a very African-based team. It's very, very African. It's a team that's representing. Today's Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, and Crystal Palace is that quintessential black team in the Premier League, actually, for the lack of better words. Because Patrick Vieira, you got to mix it up, bro. You got to mix it up. You got to mix it up, because when Palace start doing badly, then the fan base is going to say, look at that. Look at why you guys are doing so badly. Look at that. You see what I mean? I've never seen anything like this, though. I've never seen this. Really never seen this. We're not going to get too racial. But Joachim Anderson and Vicente Guaita are the only non-African based background kind of players there. Let's just make it clear. Mix it up a bit, man. Mix it up, Vieira. Mix it up, because what's going to happen, if you get sacked, a new manager's going to come in, these players are going to suffer. Bring Milivojevic back into the team. Bring Will Hughes into the team sometimes. You know what I mean? Mix it up a bit, man. Joel Ward is there. Mix it up a bit. That's all I'm going to say. Mix it up. A lot of physicality, but you need a little bit of, you know, a player that might have a bit more brain power than a Doucouré. A Milivojevic right there with his experience. No, I'm being for real. A Milivojevic, you don't always have to be brunt and brute strength. Bring in a Milivojevic in the midfield or a Will Hughes. Just create some balance. I'm just saying, man. What do you guys think? What do you think, Demo? What do you think? Think I'm being a little extra or no? Big up to Cesar in the house. Big up Cesar. Guys, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button for the live stream. But yet another loss to Crystal Palace. If we check the Palace recent record here, you see they've been going through somewhat of a slump, man. Lost to Chelsea, lost to Southampton in the FA Cup, lost to Spurs 4-0. That's another London derby loss. They did beat Bournemouth. Lost another London derby against Fulham. You know, so since they returned from the World Cup, it's been a very, very poor run of form, with only good result coming against Bournemouth, a team that's struggling. So Palace, you got to be very careful. 22 points. I think Palace, you know, they did well in the first half of the season, but not the last 5 games where they had 6 wins, but 4 losses. 4 of the 8 losses have come in their last 8 matches. So that's not good. They're in the transfer window as well for a few players. I don't know if those players are going to be impactful enough to actually make a difference. Okay, this is a thing. When you have 2 strikers and you're playing a winger as a striker, I know Zaha could play as a striker too, but you have Mateta, you have Edward. Play them. Play one of them as a main striker. You can't have... Look, I know you want to have Eze, Olise, Zaha all in the team at the same time. And let me just double check here. let's look at the lineup, right? You want to have drop all you from the team, play Zaha at the on the wings, right? Play Eze through the center, play Olise on the wing as well, and play Mateta or Edward up top. It's that simple. Anyways, it's not my problem, but we're gonna keep it moving though. What else we got? We got 2 games to talk about. Newcastle United won, Fulham nil. This was a controversial type of game because Fulham, they were given a penalty where Alexander Mitrovic, a former Newcastle man who didn't do well at Newcastle, had a chance for redemption, went up and double kicked the ball like Riyad Mahrez a couple seasons ago against Liverpool, and the goal was chalked off. Alexander Isak came off the bench. Callum Wilson put it across goal. Isak from close range. Newcastle United with a narrow 1-0 win in Tyneside. Big win because Fulham's been in very, very good form. I think it was very harsh on Fulham that they didn't get anything from the match. They played well, but you got to put away your penalties. Even the Bobby Dover Reed penalty was not even a penalty. He stepped on the defender's foot and then went over. So that was not even a penalty. It looked weird. It should not have been given. And I guess poetic justice at the end of the day. But Newcastle continued to surge upwards in the table. I think they remain the same position, but they continue to do well. So give it up to Eddie Howe, Jason Tyndall, and Newcastle United. Dominated the game, but Fulham held their own and could have gotten something. 20 shots, 5 on target. Saint-Maximin, he looked good in the match. What kind of haircut is that, though? That's a weird haircut, though. I got to give it to Saint-Maximin. He got a lot of balls. One setback. Bruno Guimaraes picked up an ankle injury. He went off, so they'll be sweating his fitness. But the thing is, they've won without Guimaraes in the past. And they won the game with even Guimaraes going off the field. And that's the beauty about good scouting. You look at this Newcastle team, they look really good. Nick Pope, they look assured. Kieran Trippier, Fabian Shaw, Botman, Byrne. This team looks really good. The midfield, Longstaff. I've been talking about Longstaff. He's been steady. He's been really steady, and sometimes that's what you need. You don't need extravagant. You need somebody steady, and you got to give it to him. With Bruno Guimaraes going out, maybe you could have a John Shelby if he's fit these days. You could bring him in. You know, Joe Linton wasn't even punished from his drunk driving incident, so he played his part in the game as well. Look at Wilson, Almiron, these guys are doing well. You could bring Isak back into the team. You could play Isak on the wings, and you could put Joe Linton in the midfield, and you things are fixed. That's how deep this Newcastle team is. Let's take a look at the bench, what they got available to them, right? Saint-Maximin, Isak. You got Chris Wood, Murphy, who's been a super sub. Matt Ritchie, Jamal Lewis. I guess John Shelby wasn't even in the squad. But you're going to see some of these players phased out and the Newcastle team being strengthened next season. I think this would be one of the next summer transfer window would be very, very exciting because I want to see who Newcastle are going to bring in. And I would love to see if they win. I would love for them to win the Carabao Cup. I'm going to keep it real, though. I would love if they do so over Man United. But for Fulham, it's nice to see Mana Solomon back from his horrible injury he picked up on opening day. Nice to see him back. And hard luck for them on the loss, though. So, big up everybody in the house, man. You think I'm reading too much into it? I don't know, bro. We shall see. Big up to Sebastian, who said, Sebastian, the football fan, new name, who said top 4, in my opinion, is already done. Arsenal, City, Newcastle, Man United. I don't know, bro. It's still very early in the season. We're only halfway through the season. Still early. So, guys, we got to round it off with the last game with Arsenal beating Spurs. But before we do, Newcastle United a third with 38 points. Same amount of points as Manchester United. So they're above United on goal difference, which is absolutely ridiculous when you think about it. Man City 1 point ahead of Newcastle. Arsenal, what is that? 9 points? 9 points. So look at Newcastle, man. Newcastle 10 points ahead of Liverpool. Let me just put that out there. 10 points ahead of Chelsea. They're doing great. They're doing absolutely great. Fulham a minor setback. First loss in the last 5, 31 points. They already survived. They have to have a strong second half of the season if they want to pick up a Europa League or a Conference League spot, which will be massive for Marco Silva and Fulham. So with that being said, guys, let's take a look at Tottenham Arsenal. I'm not going to be super long on this one because I did drop a whole 16-minute video on it yesterday. But Spurs 0, Arsenal 2, Hugo Lloris own goal, Saka with the shot, deflected. Hugo Lloris basically parried it into the back of the net. And Martin Odegaard with a brilliant long-range goal, I should say, in the 36th minute to give Arsenal a brilliant 2-0 win. Spurs, they fought back in the second half, but not enough to beat Aaron Ramsdale, who was magnificent, who was mammoth in the second half, man. So you could see Spurs, 17 shots, 7 on target, none in the back of the net. Ramsdale, to the fore every single time. But Lloris is not good enough, in my opinion. I've been saying that time and time again. He's retired for the French national team, and I think this should be the last season at Spurs for Hugo Lloris. When you look at the reason why teams don't succeed, and you look at some constants over the seasons, you look at Lloris, you look at Eric Dyer, right? You look at a few other players like Ben Davies. You look at Harry Kane. You see what I mean? Maybe these players need to leave the club out of the something needs to be changed. The players need to leave the club, or 1 or 2 players, and maybe something else might happen. But one of these players are a blight to the club. One of them. Harry Kane, I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what's his thought process. Why he still want to remain at Spurs. But he should be, him and his agent should be trying to sign for Bayern Munich or something. You feel me? That's what he should be trying to do. He should be trying to getting in at Real Madrid. Something. Think about it, man. You got to leave Spurs behind. Leave them behind. Even, look, not even putting this beyond a Harry. Try to sign for Liverpool or something. You feel me? Sign for Man United or something. But just leave Spurs. Because you guys are not winning anything. No matter how many managers you change, you're not winning anything. Something got to change. Something got to change, man. And it's maybe Harry Kane leaving, or Lloris, or both, or all of them. Need a complete overhaul. Just like they did to with the new stadium. Complete overhaul. But Arsenal, they're on top of the table. They're doing big things. What? 8 points ahead of Manchester City? You can't ask for more, man. You can't ask for more at this time of the season, point in time of the season, from the players and from Arteta. Can't ask for more at all. You really can. But guys, look, I'm not going to go down deeper into this. Check out the video. It's on the channel. It's fresh. And we're going to wrap up the Premier League review for this weekend. But before we do, let's just take a look at what's coming up. Crystal Palace play Man United. These are coming after the FA tomorrow, right? FA Cup replays and a postponed match will be tomorrow, Tuesday, the 17th. And then we have Wednesday the 18th, Crystal Palace play Man United. January the 19th, Man City play Tottenham. We have Liverpool, Chelsea on Saturday. Leicester, Brighton on Saturday as well. Southampton play Villa. West Ham play Everton. Bournemouth play Nottingham Forest. Crystal Palace play Newcastle United. City play Wolves on Sunday again. Okay. 2 games this week. Wow. Leeds play Brentford. And we have Arsenal play Manchester United on Sunday. That's massive. And a Monday game between Fulham and Tottenham in a London derby. And then we'll have 11-day break from the, well, not 11 days. About 11 days from the Premier League to accommodate the Carabao Cup and, so on and so forth. Guys, the Champions League's coming up. Transfer window. We're halfway through the month and everything. So, a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about indeed, man. So with that being said, what we're going to do, take a look at the stats. Erling Haaland with 21 goals. Harry Kane with 15. Ivan Toney climbing up with 13 as well. And we got Alexander Mitrovic with 11. He could have made it 12, but missed that penalty. We got Rodrigo with 10. And in terms of assists, Kevin De Bruyne with 10. First to hit double figures this season. Bukayo Saka with 7. We got an assist for that Odegaard goal. We got Christian Eriksen with 6. I didn't even realize he had so many assists, man. Not bad at all. Not bad. Alex Iwobi, Andreas Pereira, Andrew Robertson, Bernardo Silva, Dejan Kulusevski, Jesus, Perisic, and Odegaard with 5 each. So with that being said, guys, let's keep it moving, man. So big up everybody in the house. Jamal Griffith, you know my mind just run on you, bro. I swear to God, I didn't even look at the chat, but my mind just ran on you, bro. Congratulations to Arsenal and what you guys have been doing. You guys are doing the damn thing, man. And much respect. All the best. If Manchester City does not win the title, I have to say, I hope that Arsenal does, because I really cannot deal with United winning the title. I can't deal with it. I can't. Really can't deal with it. Big up to Lennon Sweet in the house. Marcel! Oh my God, I told you that Liverpool were going to lose, and I did talk about you a little earlier in the stream. Go back and watch the replay. You'll see what exactly I'm talking about. Marcel, bro, what did I say? I don't got no agenda against Liverpool, but you guys have been playing like shit lately, okay? And I'm just going to call it how I see it, man. As we got the nice vibes playing in the background, guys, let me know how you feel. Talk to me. Let me know how you feel about the vibes playing in the background. A nice, mellow, laid back hip-hop. You feel me? So big up to IZ TV in the house. IZ TV want us to talk about the Supercopa de España. And guys, we're going to talk a bit of transfers, right? We're going to talk Mudryk. We'll be live for almost 2 hours, but I got some time. I'm off from work today. I do go in tomorrow on my day off, trying to make some extra money to pay off some bills and be in a more comfortable financial situation these days, because YouTube is not really that, profitable in terms of making money unless there's a World Cup or Euros every month, but these are the dry months. But big up to Jamal, though, I have to say, for becoming a member of the channel. If everybody become a member of the channel, then yeah, that'll be the case. But everybody can't afford to do that. I do understand. I definitely do understand, though. So appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you for becoming a member, and I hope a lot of you guys consider becoming a member, because let's say we have 1,000 members on here. 1,000 members. That's reaching. I don't think that'll ever happen. But let's say we have 1,000 members. I won't need to do no overtime at work. I won't need to do no additional days at work. I could just spend a lot of time streaming and talking and making content. But when I have to focus on going to work and doing overtime, man, I'm tired and I can't do a lot of content. But look, my wife's schedule is going to change soon. So you're going to see some difference coming forward. You know what I mean? Earlier times when I go live, like today I went live a little earlier. These things. Guys, I'm still very much committed to this YouTube thing. I've been multitasking at it for the last 5 years, going on 6, right? As a matter of fact, this would be my 6th year. I'm 6 years into this. I even forgot. This is my 6th year. I've been multitasking. I've had a full-time job. I've had to deal with my kids, my wife, everything, everyday living while doing the channel. So nothing has really changed. But I've gotten better with, a lot of things. But at the same time, the game has become a lot more congested and watered down. And, I don't get the push. I really don't. You see what I'm saying? I could put out the same video on Arsenal, and another guy could put out the same video, and YouTube would push that more. Subscribers doesn't matter. The amount of subscribers that you see on the channel, it doesn't matter. Does not matter at all. You can't depend on subscribers. You have to depend on a loyal fan base. So those of you guys who come back for the live stream time and time again, you know who you are. Big up to you guys, and definitely appreciate it 100%. So big up to Care Sports, who says, which team do you carry new subscribers? Which team do you carry? Well, I'm a Man City fan. So you're at the right place. You're at the right place. You know what I mean? You're at the right place. Care Sports TV. this is the place for you. I'm a Man City fan, and I'm going to keep it real, but I talk about a lot of the other teams as well. Marcel said you're a YouTube vet now. The real ones would always be here. Appreciate you, Marcel. Appreciate you. So what we're going to do, let's take a look at the Supercopa de España. This is something that, is on the screen that we have to talk about. Give it up to Barcelona, man. Xavi Hernandez's first major piece of silverware as the Barcelona manager. Let's give it up to him again. More. Come on, man. What kind of shot? More, man. More. A lot of freaking firework, man. Let's hit that, man. Let's hit it. So give it up to Xavi, though. Give it up to Xavi. Because Barcelona went out there. And if you look at the teams, right? I did watch this game, but I was at work doing some overtime. So, like, I had it in my pocket listening to the game as well. Watching when I could, listening when I could. But Barcelona and Real Madrid here. And I think this is what the organizers wanted. They wanted this thing to be an El Clasico. And let's go back. We jump in the gun. Both games went to penalties. Real Madrid won. Valencia won 4-3 to Real Madrid on penalties. Betis 2, Barcelona 2. 4-2 to Barcelona on penalties. Real Madrid versus Barcelona. El Clasico in the Supercopa de España, where this deal runs until 2029, hosted in Saudi Arabia. Big money move by Saudi Arabia. Their fans get to watch the two biggest clubs in Spain play in a final, right? Big money move. Saudi Arabia, they invest their money, but also they make back a lot of money from this. 3-1 to Barcelona. And where I want to look at is the lineups, right? You look at this Real Madrid lineup, you would say, yeah, Real Madrid's going to win this game. Look at that, man. Well, we know the game's not being won on paper, but you have Courtois. You have Carvajal, Militao, Rudiger, Mendy, right? Mudryk, Camavinga, Cruz in the midfield. Valverde, Benzema, Vinicius Jr. But when you look at the Barcelona team and you look at the inexperience of Gavi, Pedri, you know how good they are, right? But you look at Balde, Koundé, Arroyo. These are younger players, but these players actually represent the rebuild that Xavi Hernandez is actually taking this Barcelona team, through right now. Marc-Andre ter Stegen as well. Look at where they at when Xavi took charge last season. They were down. They were really down, but they weren't out. They were very low in the table. They fought back. They made Champions League, and of course, they qualified to the Supercopa de España by the way of the league. I think Barcelona came in second last season, right, guys? They did come in second last season. So it was a great revival under Xavi Hernandez, because I don't know what Ronald Koeman was actually doing. For them to end up getting 73 points from where they were, oh, man, it was a great revival. Ronald Koeman had to be sacked. He had the club in shambles. He brought in some of his own players. They weren't doing well. Barcelona had to reach down into the academy, like the La Masia Academy, and call up players like Gavi. Players like I think Gavi's was it last season that Gavi came throughout the season before? But I know like players like Balde. A lot of players, man. A lot of players. Guys like Mingueza and a few others. I can't remember all the names. I'm not a Barcelona fan. But just the point that you got to give Xavi a lot of credit for what he's done at the team. Maybe they're not doing well in the Champions League. Maybe when it comes to the elites in Europe, they don't stack up very well. But he's spending days and nights on the training ground when he go home to his family. When you're in your bed and you're thinking, you brainstorm, when you're in the shower. And he's put together a really, really nice little team here. Lewandowski on top, scoring the goals. He's been scoring most of the goals, but it's nice to see Gavi and Pedri stepping up and scoring. Ousmane Dembele, he's been cooking this season. De Jong, even with the transfer links outside the club, he stood firm. He didn't want to leave the club. Busquets, last season. And what a way to go out, winning a Supercopa de España, and he could win the league as well. Balde stepping up, making the Spanish team, national team. Christensen leaving Chelsea, going to Barcelona, having the success. Koundé, French national team player. Ronald Leroy, one of the best young versatile defenders around. Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, who we know is very, very good. So I know Real Madrid are the reigning champions of La Liga and the reigning champions of Europe, but still, and Carlo Ancelotti doesn't really lose finals like that. So it was a big, 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 big achievement. Barcelona went out there. They were assured. They were switched on. They looked like the hungrier of the two teams. They got that first goal. They got the second. They got the third, and a consolation goal for Benzema at the end. Very good stuff by Barcelona, man. Very, very good stuff. And this is also part of me, not watching just Premier League matches, guys. I did tune into this one. Can't say watch the whole game. Gotta keep it real. But I did tune into it, and I did watch and listen, to most of the game. So congratulations to Barcelona on winning the Supercopa de España. What's next for them? Maybe winning the Copa del Rey. They had a tough time against Intercity in the last round. But what's important for Barcelona is that they are actually on top La Liga with Real Madrid stumbling in a few of their most recent games. So you could see Barcelona beating Atletico Madrid. That was a very important win to pick up that win on the road to Atletico. The draw in the derby there against Espanyol, a minor setback, but I think Real Madrid did lose on that same. They didn't win on that same day. So let's check Real Madrid and their form. And Real Madrid did lose a Supercopa de España. They lose to Villarreal there, and So Real Madrid did catch Barcelona back when they drew, but they suffered a setback when they lost to Villarreal. So give it up to Barcelona, man. Give it up to Barcelona. And with that being said, congrats on Barcelona once again. We're going to transition right into La Liga. But in terms of the comments, what are you guys saying, man? IZTV said, we win, okay, La Liga, Europa League, Copa del Rey. We come back into the Champions League and we win it next season to win the. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that. Big up to Soccer World in the house. I don't know about that. You're reaching a little with that one. You're going a little bit too far with that one. But winning the Copa del Rey is definitely a possibility. Barcelona could indeed win the Europa League too, but remember, Manchester United are playing well. So you can't really count out Manchester United. They play well. Guys, we're 4 likes away from 40 thumbs up, so make sure you click the thumbs up button for the stream. Ready, set, go. Let's do it again. And if you guys are watching the replay right now, appreciate you guys tuning into yet another one. So we have Angelo Reyes in here. He says, hopefully Barca win La Liga and Copa del Rey. So, guys, what we're going to look at really quick, let's see if we have some Copa del Rey. I think they had some Copa del Rey games. No, we didn't have the Copa del Rey games. But we have some games in Copa del Rey coming up tomorrow. And if you're looking for football to watch tomorrow, there's an FA Cup replays. It might not be high-profile games, but there's Copa del Rey matches coming up tomorrow. Real Sociedad, round of 16, play Mallorca. Alaves play Sevilla. Sporting Gijón come up against Valencia. Athletic Club play Espanyol. Levante face Atletico Madrid. Betis play Osasuna. Ceuta play Barcelona. Ceuta is a club based in Africa, right? The Spanish region in Africa, in Morocco. And Villarreal play Real Madrid again. This one is a massive one, man. This one is a huge one. So if I got to make some predictions here, I must say Real Madrid get their revenge on Villarreal. They don't want to lose back-to-back games there. That game is on Thursday. I say they get their revenge. Villarreal didn't look too good in the last game. Barcelona beat Ceuta. Betis beat Osasuna. Atletico over at Levante. I'm going to say Athletic Club Bilbao beat Espanyol. Valencia's been struggling, but I think they pull off the win here against Sporting Gijón. Alaves, Sevilla. This one's tough. I know these are very one-sided predictions, but I'm gonna go for Sevilla to beat Alaves. And Sociedad to get the better of Mallorca because Sociedad's been they've been playing really, really good football lately. So that's what the Copa del Rey looks like coming up tomorrow, guys. Let's just run through the last round of La Liga really quick and take a look at the table. We had games today, and we had a few games a couple days ago as well. So let's just run through the table. Of course, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Betis, and what's the other team there? What was that other team there? God damn. The other team that participated there. They didn't actually play. I can't. Why am I running a blank on the team? Betis. Was it Valencia? Was that Valencia? Was that Valencia in the Supercopa, right? Supercopa. Is that Valencia? I don't even remember. God damn. I'm getting old. Yeah, Valencia. I'm getting old. But look, La Liga. Let's take a look at La Liga, guys. Let's run through the last match day. Then we're going to take a look at the Italian League, run through that last match there as well. And I think we're going to talk a little bit of transfers and call it a day. So, match day 17. That's what we want to go to. Celta Vigo 1, Villarreal 1. In this game, Jürgen Larsen, Strand Larsen, 68 minute, Gerard Moreno, 15 minute, 1-1, a point apiece. Valladolid 0, Rayo Vallecano 1. Isi Palazon in the 67th minute, big win there for Vallecano. Girona 2, Girona, Man City's sister club over there in Spain. Tanguy Nianzou in the 13th minute, but Christian Stuani and Yangel Herrera with the winning goals. So give it up to Girona, man. Osasuna 1, Mallorca 0. Aymar Aroz in the 47th minute with the game's only goal. Real Sociedad 3, Athletic Club Bilbao 1. Alexander Sola, 25th minute. Takefuso Kubo, 37th. Oyhan Sanchez in the 40th. And Mikel Oyarzabal back from injury in the 62nd minute from the penalty spot. Yere Alvarez, who's a cancer survivor, I think, got sent off in the 60th minute. So setback for Athletic Club Bilbao, but big win for Sociedad as they look to qualify for the Champions League yet again. So Getafe 1, Espanyol 2. You got Joselu in the 6th minute, a former Man City youngster Enes Unyal, the Turkish international, 7th minute, but Javi Paulo in the 62nd minute give Espanyol the winner. Almeria 1, Atletico Madrid 1. I didn't even know this. I missed this game. Angel Correa, 18th minute. El Bilal Torre in the 37th minute for Almeria. And Sergio Reguilon got sent off in the 89th minute as Atletico dropped points again after losing to Barcelona in their last game. And the final game we got to talk about today, Cadiz and Elche played to a 1-1 draw. That's a big result for Elche as Brian Ocampo scored in the 7th minute, but Elche, they salvaged the point in the 81st minute through the Argentinian Ezequiel Ponce. So, wow, Elche is still on winless in the league, by the way, guys. They probably got 5 points. Let's take a look at the standings. But before we do, guys, Saturday, Mallorca play Celta Vigo. Rayo Vallecano play Real Sociedad. Espanyol take on Betis. Atletico Madrid take on Valladolid. Sevilla play Cadiz. Villarreal, Verona. Girona. Elche play Osasuna. Barcelona take on Getafe. Athletic Club Bilbao will take on Real Madrid, and Valencia will play Almeria. And this is what the standings look like. Barcelona on top with 41 points in 16 games. Real Madrid is second, 3 points behind. Sociedad, they're climbing up with 35 points, unbeaten in their last 5 matches. Sociedad, who's in charge of Sociedad these days? You guys may ask. I can't remember, to be honest. I'm still now getting into La Liga more than I used to, in the past. So pardon me. And I wouldn't have guessed this, man. I wouldn't have guessed this. Emmanuel Aluachil Alguacil. Never heard of the man in my life. I'm sorry. I can't know everything. Ernesto Valverde in charge of Athletic Club Bilbao these days, by the way, though. But damn. This was actually the Basque region derby as well. I forgot to mention that. That was a huge game. That's the Basque derby with Sociedad winning that. This is a massive game, guys. One of the biggest derbies in Spanish football. And I failed to mention that, man. That's how sometimes I'm not really there, but I didn't let it slip. So it's a big gap between Atleti and Sociedad. So right now it's a 3-horse race in La Liga. As Villarreal a 5th with 28 points, Betis a 6th with 28. Osasuna, doing pretty well this season. Athletic Club Bilbao, Rayo Vallecano doing well as well, and Mallorca round off the top 10, while Girona, Valencia, Almeria, Espanyol, Getafe, Celta, and Valladolid just right outside the relegation zone in terms of their points tally. And Cadiz, 16 points. Sevilla, surprisingly, in the relegation zone. And Elche, without a win yet this season, 5 points. Stats: Lewandowski with 13, Joselu with 10, Borja Iglesias with 8, Iago Aspas with 8, Karim Benzema and Vedad Muriqi with 8 apiece, Mikel Merino with 7 assists, Antoine Griezmann and Dembele with 5, Alex Garcia, Brian Olivan, Hugo Guillamon, Robert Lewandowski, and Rodrigo with 4 assists apiece. So that does it for Spanish football, guys. Just giving you guys a quick update and my thoughts on Spanish football. We might actually go live again tomorrow, and I might go through my Reddit to pull up some articles and some news, breaking news and things like that. But I don't think I have enough time to do that today at all. So Jamal is saying, looks like Sociedad will be La Liga's 3rd team this season. Yeah. They're looking good. They're looking good indeed. David Silva, man. David Silva's, in their midfield. And it's crazy. David Silva could have still been playing at City, but sometimes you just got to let a player go. I think he wanted to go back home and, be with his family, be a bit closer. Because he was going through some things with his daughter, I think, being sick. So, give it up to Sociedad, though. But big up IZTV, who's a La Liga fan. And this is why I enjoy doing this series, Ready, Set, Go, where I talk about all the leagues across Europe when I can, because it invites fans of other leagues to actually come in and take part in the stream and not just Premier League fans. So with that being said, guys, let's check out the Italian league, Serie A. Let's check out Serie A. But before we do, let's see if there was any games in the Coppa Italia, because you don't want to forget about the cup competitions at all. We got to check Ligue 1 as well. You see, it's a good thing that I did that, right? Because we had some games that we got to recap really quick. I did talk about these matches as well, but there's games coming up tomorrow. Inter 2, Parma 1, Milan 0, Torino 1, big win, Milan out of the cup. Fiorentina 1, Sampdoria 0. Roma beat Genoa a goal to 0. And tomorrow we have Napoli playing Cremonese. Napoli, the most exciting team in Italy right now. Atalanta, second behind Napoli in terms of excitement because of the way, they just play that gung-ho style of football. And we'll get to Atalanta pretty soon. Big game over the weekend. They're massive win over Salernitana. Lazio play Bologna on Thursday, and Juventus take on Monza on Thursday as well. The quarterfinal teams in the quarterfinal already are let's take a look at the quarterfinal draw. Coppa Italia quarterfinal draw. Coppa Italia quarterfinal draw. Let's take a look at that. Quarterfinal draw for the Coppa Italia news. Let's see. Let me see. All right, let's just go back. Quarterfinal draw. Let's click the news here. Let me see. Quarterfinal. Why is not a what? Why is there not a whole thing here? What? Come on, man. Why is there not a whole little thing? Let's go back to the main page. Let's see. All right. Quarterfinal draw on Twitter. Let me see. Let me see if we find anything. Okay, so we got it right here, guys. I like this. We got it right here. It's small, but I like it. Let me see. Yeah, this is much better. So you got Atalanta. All right, so this is old. This is actually old. This is from September. So this is old. I like that, but it's old. Let's see if we find something updated. Yeah, that is pretty old, though. I don't know why they have that. Does the Coppa Italia have a Twitter page? Let's find out. People, let's find out. Coppa Italia. Does it even have a page? Yeah, Coppa Italia. I don't know if that's not even.
real. Supercopa, Coppa Italia. I don't even. Ah, man. But anyways, let's just go back. Let's keep it simple. Whatever, man. I don't even know who's playing who. But Coppa Italia. If you guys know, let me know, man, because I don't. See, we're definitely looking more exciting this season. Napoli play good this season. Cesar, time for Memo Ochoa, new record. So, is it a new record? So, look, teams in the quarterfinal already. We got Inter, Roma, Fiorentina already into the quarterfinal. I don't know who play who. I tried to find out, but there's no news. Maybe a language barrier there. So, we check the Serie A. Let's go over to the Serie A, guys. So in terms of the Serie A, we had games. We had games today. I didn't watch any games yesterday or today because I've been rather busy. But I did watch the game on Friday between Napoli and Juventus. Napoli 5, Juventus 1. Osimhen in the 14th minute. Kavica Kvaratskhelia in the 39th. Angel Di Maria in the 42nd. Akmer Rahmani in the 55th. Victor Osimhen again in the 65th. Ilif Elmas in the 72nd. A massive win against Juventus as Napoli, take a hold on the Serie A. If they don't win from here, man, let me say this, man. If Napoli and Arsenal do not win from here, they deserve a beating. Both clubs deserve a beating if they don't win from here, man, because they find themselves in a very, very, very good position. So we're going to keep it moving. Cremonense 2, Monza 3. High-scoring affair. Patrick Surya in the 8th minute. Gianluca Caprari in the 19th for penalty spot, and Caprari again in the 55th. Daniel Ciofani in the 67th, and Cyril Dessers trying to come back in the 83rd minute as Monza picked up a big 3-2 win. Next game, Lecce 2, Milan 2. This is a huge result, man. Milan are losing some steam. Tio Hernandez own goal in the 3rd minute. Rafael Leao in the 58th. No, actually, Federico Bashiroto in the 23rd. They were actually 2-0 up. So kudos to Milan for coming back. Leao and Davide Calabria in the 70th minute. Look at, what's the boy name? Samuel Umtiti these days playing for Lecce. So he try to keep them in the league. German Petzela as well plays for Lecce. So they do have some, some big names in their team there, though. Not a lot. I don't recognize a lot of the players, but, Leao, Giroud, Brahim Diaz, Selemekas, all for AC Milan. Pobega coming through, Benacer. Team looking kind of light if you ask me, man, but still. They're the reigning champions. Divock Origi off the bench. They're the reigning champions, but they're not looking the same as they did last season at all. So Inter 1, Verona 0. Lautaro Martinez in the 3rd minute. They held their own to hold on to the lead. So you could see Edin Dzeko and Lautaro starting. Mkhitaryan, Çalhanoğlu, Gagliardini. This team is stacked up. I like Inter. I like Inter as a team. The personnel in the team. Verona did win their last game, but setback for this one. Inter is stacked up, man. Look at that. Dumfries, De Vrij, Gosens, Korea. This team is stacked up. Got Barella, D'Ambrosio. The team is stacked up, man. I like Inter. So Lazio 2, Sassuolo 0. You got that game was yesterday. Zaccagni scored in the 48th minute, in the 3rd minute of first half, extra time there. Felipe Anderson for Lazio in the 94th minute. Remember him from his West Ham days? He used to play at Lazio before, though. Very prolific at Lazio and went back. So big win for Lazio there over Sassuolo. Spezia 1, Torino 0. And Enzola, who's been scoring a lot of goals in the 28th minute from the penalty spot there for the win over Torino. Udinese 1, Bologna 2. You had Beto in the 10th minute for Udinese, but Nicola Sansoni and Stefan Posch with the goals for Bologna. Oh, man, this one is embarrassing. I actually saw something when Hillman scored, right? And I think they were like 2-1 up or something like that. And then I saw 8-2, and I was like, what the hell happened, man? What the hell happened here? What the hell happened, man? And they weren't 2-1 up when Hulman scored. They were higher up. But what the hell happened to Salernitana? This has to be some kind of record, right? Jeremy Boga in the 5th minute. Bulaidi in the 10th. 1-1. Then he had Ademola Lukman scoring from the penalty spot in the 20th. Giorgio Scalvani, a young defender, promising in the 23rd. Then you had Coop Miners scoring again. He's been scoring a lot of goals lately. Well, not a lot. Well, back-to-back games. 38 minute. Rasmus Hulman, who's been Hulman. He came over from a Polish club, if I'm not mistaken. Sturm Graz, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Or Austria Vienna, one of them clubs, man. But he's been a hit since he was signed. Edison in the 61st. Well, Ademola Lukman again. Edison in the 61st. And Nadir Zortea. I never heard of that player. But, Hans Nicolossi did score one for Salernitana there. Was there any kind of record here, man? Let's check the time. Atalanta have scored 8 goals for the first time in their Serie A history. Before Atalanta Salernitana, the last side to score 8 in a Serie A match were Internazionale versus Podava on the 14th of April, 1996. Since Gasperini joined the club since 2016-17, Atalanta have scored 7+ goals in 4 matches, at least 3 more than any other club. That's what I like about Atalanta, man. They just keep going and going and going, and they don't take their foot off the gas, man. And I like that about Atalanta. It could be a little holy sometimes at the back, but, you want excitement, you watch a club like Atalanta, man. So it's probably some records there broken by what you call it there, Guillermo Ochoa, who started things off pretty well, if I'm not mistaken, in Salernitana colors. But this is an unwanted record, man. That is horrible, man. To concede 8, and Salernitana doesn't look bad with Piontek, Dia, Tony Villena, Kandreva. They got some, Domagoj Bradovic. They got some talent in this team. For them to concede 8 is just shocking, if you ask me. Shocking indeed, man. But big up to everybody in the house. Make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button for the live stream. It's been a fun one. I enjoy doing these streams. And I know I have to come ever so often to just catch up on what's going on before I lose track. Because I can't. The most days I could take off from these live streams are 2 days. If I go over 2 days, it'll be way too much to talk about. And there's still a lot of things to talk about. This live stream could go for 5 hours. There's so much things to talk about in football, guys. So if you guys are interested in doing a football channel, do it, man. Do it and react to news, or just talk about your club, talk about the league you like. That's what YouTube is for, man. That's what YouTube is for. Occupy your time wisely. If you're idle and you have a lot of downtime, start a YouTube channel. It could keep you out of a lot of trouble, man. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. So, guys, let's keep it moving. Big win for Atalanta there, indeed. So, Roma 2, Fiorentina 0. Paulo Dybala is back, guys. Paulo Dybala with a brace, 40th and 82nd minute. You see, sometimes you have to move. Things weren't working out at Juventus. He moved to Roma. He got back into the Argentina national team. He's a World Cup winner. So sometimes you got to move, man. Like I was telling this lady, a security guard at the, where my job is at the airport. She's complaining, right? She's complaining. And she's saying, oh, they keep putting her over here. It's too much work for her to do, right? She looks she's kind of fat. She looks a bit lazy. So she's trying to use her seniority to her advantage by saying she should be getting the easier post, and the post that she has to get out in the cold, check the vehicle and all of that. I'm like, listen, man, this post is pretty easy, but cheer up, man. It could be worse than this. I told her it could be worse than this. I told her if you want to leave, if you're not comfortable, just leave the job. You see what I'm saying? Just leave the job, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to look for something else. You know what I mean? Blah, 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 blah. And she's like, oh, by the way, thank you very much. You actually made me smile today. But she's not and she's telling, oh man, she was just a little bit extra. You know, she's talking about who the other girls are screwing the supervisors to get, you know, good posts and all of that. And she's not going to screw anybody. She's not giving this up. And I'm saying to my mind, who the hell wants to screw you? You know what I'm saying? Very unattractive woman, by the way. No disrespect. But she was like smiling at me and all. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, ew. But anyways, man, it's just the point that Dybala left Juventus and he's doing a little bit better over there at AS Roma, being a match winner. That's most important. So the last game there, Empoli 1, Sampdoria 0. Tyrone Ebuehi in the 55th minute with the goal. So with that being said, guys, that's what the Serie A looked like for the last match date. For the upcoming game date, coming back Saturday after, you know, I think there's some Coppa Italia matches. Verona play Lecce, Salernitana play Napoli, Fiorentina play Torino, Sampdoria play Udinese, Monza take on Sassuolo, Spezia Roma, Juventus that one is huge. Juventus Atalanta. Could Juventus, you know, be smashed for 5 again? Atalanta is they in prime form though. That'll be a good game to watch on Saturday. Saturday 2:45. Let me check the Premier League schedule. Let me see what's playing on Saturday at 2:45. Let me see if I could actually tune into that one. Saturday. Yeah. That's after the Crystal Palace Newcastle game. So this is definitely a game to tune into, guys. Juventus Atalanta. Oh no, that's Sunday. Shit. I'm looking at the wrong schedule there. So Sunday, the Fulham Tottenham game will be played at the same. No. That's after the Arsenal man. I'm losing it. That's after the Arsenal. So yeah, Sunday, guys, that game definitely worth tuning into. Tune into that one, guys. Bologna play Cremonese, and then you have Inter play Empoli. Lazio Milan is another very, very, very good one. So, you know, I think that's a derby of some sort. I'm still learning my Italian league, guys. So pardon me if I don't know all the big derbies, okay? So that's what the Serie A is going to look like coming up for the weekend, and this is what the table is. Napoli on top, 47 points. Milan second with 38. Napoli, man, if you don't win the league from there, listen, shame on you. Shame on you. You got to win the league from there. Juventus are third with 37 points. Inter fourth with 37. So, you know, those teams are fighting for the Champions League places with Lazio and Atalanta, along with Roma right behind. It's 7 teams. And the rest are like 10 points behind, guys. Look at that. 9 points. Udinese, Torino, Fiorentina, Bologna, Empoli, Monza, and Lecce, all above 20 points. While below 20 points, Spezia, Salernitana, Sassuolo, Verona in the relegation zone with 9 points. Verona, you're not looking good. You got to pull your act together. Sampdoria as well, and Cremonese at the bottom without a win this season. At least they're doing better than Elche, right? So that's what the Serie A looks like. Stats: Victor Osimhen with 12 goals, Ademola Lookman. And you see, sometimes you just have to leave the club you're at. Ademola Lookman, Everton, you know what I mean? I think he was at Fulham on loan as well. Just leave. You see what I'm saying? Imagine what Ademola Lookman could have done at Everton right now. He could have helped Everton if Everton had held on to him. He went to Leipzig. It didn't really work out. You know, so you got to leave sometimes. And they acquired a very good attacking player. That free kick, that penalty he took a couple years ago, one of the worst penalties you could ever see. Ever see. So Jamal said, easy Dom. Big Italian derbies. Inter Juventus, Milan Inter, and the biggest Juventus Milan. But yeah, there's some other derbies, of course, like the Turin derby, Torino versus Juventus. I know about that one, of course. You know what I mean? I think Lazio Milan is definitely. Isn't Lazio Milan a derby? That is a derby. That has to be a derby, right? Lazio Milan. There's I think Lazio and Roma is a derby as well. I think Lazio, you know, I gotta get my Italian. This is part of the education process, guys. Yeah, and I'm right. Lazio, a club in Rome, the Lazio Roma derby, right? The Lazio Roma derby, and there's a name for that one as well. So we're going down a little derby rabbit hole here. Let me see something. Let me see something. The Lazio Derby della Capitale. Yep, that derby right there. Derby della Capitale. The derby of the capital, Roma. See what I'm saying? So we're learning, guys. We're learning, okay? And Zola with 9 goals as well. Arnautovic with 8. Rafael Leao with 8. He's been linked with heavily with a move to Manchester City. I won't mind getting him at all. Milinkovic Savic 8 assists. Kavica Kvaratskhelia is another. Listen, guys. Let me say this. If Manchester City does not win, right? If Manchester City does not win the title next season, best believe they're gonna go in for some of these names. A Rafael Leao, a Kavica Kvaratskhelia could be one of the signings that we're gonna make. Just wanna warn you guys. I just wanna warn you before it happens. Just wanna warn you. Okay? Just wanna warn you. All right? Put it out there. And I'm not gonna stretch that. I wanna warn you early. Mario Rui with 6 assists, Philip Kostic with 5, Lorenzo Pellegrini, Nico Barella, Piotr Zielinski, Rafael Leao, and Roberto Pereira. So you see Leao, he helps out in goal with goals, and he scores them as well. So they're gonna be expensive. I'm not gonna deny that they won't be expensive, but Man City, they're type of club that if they're going for a Kavica Kvaratskhelia, they'll get him for reasonable money. I don't know if Napoli might say 100 mil because the Premier League tax. They might just say 100 mil. But who knows? Man City might sweeten up the deal, maybe send a player their way. Who knows? Who knows what'll happen, man? Who knows? A player we could send their way? Let me see. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. And something that I haven't yet talked about was Benjamin Mendy and his case where he was found not guilty, but there will be a retrial on 2 counts, so he has to keep his fingers crossed. But I don't know what's going to happen to Benjamin Mendy's career after that, though. You see, I feel bad for Benjamin Mendy, but when you're a professional footballer and all you're thinking about is getting in all you're thinking about is bitches, you're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get yourself in trouble, man. You're messing with the wrong girls, Mendy. That's why you found yourself in trouble. You gotta focus, and that's why he wasn't playing well. Cause he's thinking about the wrong things, man. Thinking about making porno videos in the shower and all of that. Anyways, let's keep it moving, man. So we touched on Italy, we touched on Spain, of course, England. And what we're going to do right now, let's run over to France and run through the results, right? Let's run through the results of the last Ligue 1 match day where PSG did lose their game. So just run through really quick. There was a big scoreline there. Of course, Monaco beat Ajax 7-0, 7-1. But let's run through those and we call it a day in terms of the league matches. We might go live tomorrow again and catch up with some transfers and some of the games that's going on. You know, if Liverpool win and we go live, the Liverpool fans will come out in their big numbers tomorrow. Of course, we know that that will happen. Liverpool need a morale booster, and that might just be coming in tomorrow or not. Lens 1, Auxerre 0. This game, Frankowski in the 59th minute, Isaac Torres sent off. We move. We're not gonna delay. We're not gonna hold up things. Marseille 3, Lorient 1. Terry Murphy, he's been linked with a move outside of Lorient. He's been scoring a lot of goals. 29th minute, but Marseille bounced back through Kolasinac and Alexis Sanchez, formerly of Arsenal. Both of these players, Jordan Veretout in the 59th minute as well. So Lyon 1, Strasbourg 2. Big up to the boy Steve, as Jean Edis Ahulu scored in the 59th minute and Habib Diallo 32nd. Lacazette from the penalty spot, formerly of Arsenal as well, in the 45th minute as Strasbourg run to a big win. They need that win. Lille 5, Troyes 1. Troyes Man City's sister club over there in France. And Mohamed Bayo, who was very prolific at Clermont Foot, helped them get promoted and move to Lille after Lille always sell their best players. And Mohamed Bayo could be the next player on the move for big money. as he scored a brace in that game. Jonathan David with a brace as well. Alan Virginius with a goal in the 75th minute. Mama Balde in the 65th minute for Troyes. And we keep it moving, guys. Toulouse 1, Brest 1. And to lose your breasts are that's not a very good thing. You know what I mean? I don't want to lose any of my breasts. And I don't want my girl to lose any of her breasts as well. So Steve Mounier in the 18th minute and Zachariah Abouklal, the Moroccan international, in the 65th minute there as 1 point apiece. Angers 1, Clermont for 2. Elbasan Rashani in the 40th, Neto Bohez in the 47th, Sofiane Boufal, the Moroccan international, in the 88th minute as Angers continue to struggle in the league. Reims 0, Nice 0, a point apiece. No Ross Barkley heroics this week at all, guys. And Montpellier 0, Nantes 3. Andre Girotto, 13th minute of first half, extra time. Wabi Kazri got sent off. Must have been some kind of bust up, whatever happened there, injury. Wabi Kazri, the Tunisian talisman, got sent off. And Elie Wahi sent off as well. 2 red cards for Montpellier as Mustafa Mohamed, the Egyptian international, and Ludovic Blas, the Frenchman, actually scored goals to make it 3-0 to Nantes. So, big one, man. Monaco 7, Ajaccio 1. That's a lot of goals, man. That is a whole lot of goals. And before we get there, let's get the music queued up again, man. We need that background music. The background music, it has been a lot of fire today. I've been experimental with my background music today, but had some good music in the background. I gotta make another playlist. My playlist game has been weak, very, very weak lately. But I haven't taken the time to listen to some, lo-fi beats and thing, on my Epidemic Sound subscription. Yeah. I gotta get my laptop fixed. That's one of my resolutions in 2023. I'm not gonna buy a laptop because MacBook Pros are very expensive. If you want the best of the best, you gotta pay at least $2,000, close to 2,000. I'm not gonna buy any cheap Windows computer laptops. I like my MacBook Pro because it syncs up with my iPhone nicely. And I have 2 MacBooks. One's old. The screen works, but it's slow. I can't take it to work and do the editing or anything. It will freeze up on me, right? It's only good for where it's at right now on the table. Sitting right here playing music. That's the best thing it's for. And it could browse the internet a little, but it can't do any heavy lifting. It's 9 years old, right? I got to get that screen fixed for my my MacBook, so I could actually take my laptop to work, guys, sneak it into work. And when I do these live streams, I could actually drop clips. I could drop clips for, and clips would bring in more views, more subscribers, more money and everything. So look for the clips pretty soon, man. Look for them pretty soon. I got to get that fixed. That might cost me $400 or $500 to fix the screen, though, if that much. But it works, but the screen's just not working. So Monaco 7, Ajaccio 1. Axel Disasi, who's probably going to be on the move pretty soon. 2nd minute goal. Crepon Diatta, the Senegalese international, 6th minute. And then Yusuf Bailali, he made it, 2-1. So Ajaccio back in the game. But no, Wissam Ben Yedda with a quick fire hat trick, 21st, 28th, 35th minute from the penalty spot. And Braille Embolo, who I'm surprised that no Premier League team ever went in for, 63rd and 89th minute goals. That's a big win, 7-1. We check the highlight, the insights here. This is only the second time Ajaccio have conceded at least 7 goals in Ligue 1 after doing so against Metz in 1973. While Monaco has not scored so many goals in a top flight game since October of 2016 against Metz. How ironic, right? So Monaco have won 10 of their 14 games in Ligue 1 since the start of September, drawing 2 and losing 2. Only Paris has done better over that period with 11 before their game against Rennes. That is absolutely nuts. Monaco are back, baby. Monaco have scored 5 goals in the first 35 minutes of a Ligue 1 game for the first time since August of 1984 against Metz. 7-0. That's the same 7-0. No, they beat Met 7-0 more than once. Wow, my God. God, Monaco, take it easy, man. Take it easy. But you look at this Monaco team. Whenever Monaco team start doing well, the team's going to get raided next summer. Disasi, he's gone. He's a French national team player now. Somebody's going to pick him up. Yusuf Fofana is gone for sure. French national team player in the midfield there, he's gone. So these two players are gone, right? You look at Ben Seguir is the youngster. He's the new kid. I don't think he's going to be picked up yet. They could hold their horses on him. They could hold on to him. But Camara just brought from Salzburg. They'll hold on to him too. But this guy, like Chao Oliveira Silva, he's been picking up a lot of assists, right? How old is he? 90, 97. He's 25. He could be somebody could pick him up, right? Vanderson. All these guys, these are youngsters. I think he's like 20 years old. You know, I'm 22. So Monaco might get raided again. You look at the bench, Myron Boudou. Come on, guys who follow my gaming channel. That's coming back pretty soon. Ishmael Jacobs, the Senegalese international. These guys are talented. Minamino can't even get into the team. Malang Sarr, on loan from Chelsea. You know, Braille Embolo. So give it up to Monaco, man. Give it up to Monaco. So big win. And we move on to the PSG loss. I didn't watch the game, but Hamari Traore in the 65th minute. Rennes. Remember, guys, Stade Rennais are one of the best teams in France. They've only lost a handful of games this season. And to beat PSG is no fluke, but it's a big achievement, seeing that PSG had Neymar, Messi, Mbappe coming off the bench. But, you know, the game's been not being played on paper. Because you have Sergio Ramos, Marquinhos in the team, and Donnarumma at the back. But when you look at the side, right, I think they experimented a bit. They may have underestimated Stade Rennais because you're slotting in the youngster Zaire Emery here, right? You're slotting him in. Hugo Ekitike. You know, yeah, you paid big money for him. You gotta play him, but come on, man. Come on. Formation looks a little wild. 3 at the back. I guess that's what you know, the manager's been implementing. But you have Hakimi, Mbappe, Fabian Ruiz, Renato Sanches could have been in the midfield. So look, Galtier, you gotta blame yourself. You see what I'm saying? But PSG is gonna win the league anyways. They're gonna win the league. Look at the standings. PSG 47 points. Lens. Give it up to Lens, man. They're doing well. They won their last game as well, unbeaten in their last 5, 44 points, Champions League spot. Marseille, 42 points. Monaco climbing the table, very good in their last 4. Rennes, a couple setbacks, 4 losses this season. Lille are climbing up as well. Lorient, 32 points. Clermont for 28. Lyon struggling a bit there. Nice struggling as well, 25 points. Nice sacked their manager as well, Lucien Favre. So the bottom half of the table, Reims, Toulouse, Nantes, Troyes, Montpellier, Strasbourg. 4 teams are going to go down at the end of the season. And in the relegation zone right now are Brest, Ajaccio, Auxerre, and Angers. So the stats, Kylian Mbappe, 13 goals. Jonathan David with 12. Terry Murphy with 12. Alexander Lacazette with 11. Neymar, 11. Wissam Ben Yedder, 11. The French League is where you want to go with the shopping cart and pick up some prolific players. Because, you know, that's what you do. Messi with 10 goals, 10 assists, pardon me. Neymar with 10 assists. Jonathan Klaus with 7. Florian Sotoka and Remy Cabella with 6 apiece. So where's Verratti? Verratti's probably injured these days. You know, see his name. I haven't seen, you know, PSG are missing him. So maybe that's why, you know, they playing all over the place right now. And they do face a clash with Bayern Munich in the Champions League next month. Guys, smash the thumbs up button. Let's see if we could get this live stream up to 50 likes while we're live. I don't know if it's possible. We do have 42 likes. And appreciate everybody in here. Appreciate everybody who came through. You know, we did well today, man. You know what I mean? We're not going to have the big numbers like the 500s and the 1,000 people in the live stream. You know, it's all good, man. It's all good. The main thing is consistency. You see what I mean? and not just being opportunistic when a tournament come around and you see, oh yeah, I'm live for this tournament. I'm doing this for this tournament. When a big story, hey, I'm live. It's just about consistency, man. We're gonna get the numbers eventually, man. Though it's consistency is king. Just remember that. So with that being said, we've been live for almost 3 hours, and we're gonna land the plane, and let's do so by going over to Fabrizio Romano's page and seeing some latest on some transfers. Okay. Follow me on Twitter, guys. I have only 538 followers. Could have more. Some of you guys, if you don't have Twitter, follow me on Twitter. Could shoot me a message, say hi from time to time. Let's go to Fabrizio Romano's page and see what's up in terms of the latest transfers. Okay. I think I might do something in terms of going down a transfer rabbit hole if I go live tomorrow. But let's just take a look at what's going on here. Let's talk a bit about Mykhailo Mudryk, because Fabrizio Romano has been on his TIP as of late. All right, so Jurgen Klopp confirms he has no plan to leave Liverpool. If nobody tells me to go, I will not leave. So that means maybe there is a point where we have to change other stuff. Ooh, maybe change the ownership. Liverpool never considered to sack Klopp. They're planning for present and future with him. And I spoke about that in my Liverpool Brighton video, that people have to be ridiculous if they're calling for Klopp to be sacked. Like, are you stupid? You see what I'm saying? Come on. Be a little bit more grateful. Frank Kessier's future depends on how now on Barcelona. Discussions took place with intermediaries on a possible swap deal with Marcelo Brozovic over the last days, but it's up to Barca and Xavi. Memphis Depay won't join Inter, as his lawyer told me. His priority is Atletico Madrid. Oh, Frank Kessier, man. I like the move to Barcelona, but he's not getting the game time, and maybe he's sad about that. Going to Inter, used to be an AC Milan player, used to be an Atalanta player. That happens a lot over in Italy, though. It doesn't matter. You can play for all the clubs if you want. So, official and confirmed, Nottingham Forest doing a goddamn thing. And official confirmed, Nottingham Forest have signed Danilo on a permanent deal from Palmeiras until 2029. Danilo said, it was a dream for me. I spoke with Gustavo Scarpa, and he told me that Nottingham Forest is a great city. Nottingham is a great city, and Forest have a quality squad with a good staff. I think it's a dream for him to actually move to Europe to play in the Premier League, but maybe not to Nottingham Forest. But Nottingham Forest is an historically very prestigious club. So, look, he's only going to help them do well and stay in the Premier League. Like I predicted at the beginning of the season, Forest are staying up. I got to do a video. Where I react to my predictions that I made. I got to do some more of those videos, guys, but I don't have the time, man. That's the thing. It's just the time thing. Really don't have the time. Pablo Sarabia will sign the contract as a Wolves player on Tuesday. Medical tests have been booked. Here we go, confirmed. Both Sarabia and João Gomez will be unveiled as Wolverhampton player this week. Confirmed. Give it up to Wolves. They're making the signings, some remedial signings, so they can remain in the league. So Julian Lopetegui on Pablo Sarabia. No comment, but we can confirm we've had an interest in signing new players. Sarabia deal will be completed this week for $5 million plus add-ons, as João Gomez deal too. Very cheap, but it's a player in the wilderness at PSG who went on loan I think he was on loan at Sporting, if I'm not mistaken. So not bad at all. So that's another thing on Danilo, a young Brazilian. Let's see how he does. So Kamaldeen Sulemania is open to leaving Rennes in January. Everton are exploring loan with a buy clause deal. Augsburg and Bournemouth have also asked for Sulemania, as he could leave due to the lack of game time. Look, man. Sulemania is a very good player, and he could actually help Everton. But is he the player that Everton needs? Maybe, but I don't think so. You see what I'm saying? Right now, Everton need to get their act together. That's what they need to do. Because they've been dog shit as of late. Ecuador top talent Kendry Páez could smash previous transfer record held by Caicedo to Brighton. 2007 midfielder will debut at just 15 years old. Many top European clubs want to sign him. Kendry was the player of the tournament in Salzburg Next Gen Trophy. Oh, wow. Young talismanic player coming through, though. Yeah, remember Caicedo, man. He was linked with United and all these clubs when he was very, very young. Brighton made a really good signing. And they sent him out on loan, but they had actually called him back, which was a very, very good decision. So Valencia will announce a new deal for Mukhtar Diakabi. Contract agreed until 2027. Gennaro Gattuso wanted Diakabi to stay as priority after Jose Gaya's new deal signed months ago. Yeah, we're talking transfers, guys. We're talking transfers. You know what I mean? Look, Depay, he's been a flop at Barcelona, was a flop at Manchester United, did pretty well at Lyon, if you ask me. Didn't want to stay there. He thought it was, you know, he thought he was going to greener pastures at Barcelona, but didn't work out. He's going to go to Atletico Madrid, where he's not going to be getting any service, and he might be the next João Felix. So Borussia Dortmund have explored the conditions of a loan deal to sign Anthony Elanga from Manchester United. It's concrete as reported by TalkSport. Understand the player side will be open to the Bundesliga move. Everton are also interested. Decision up to Manchester United. Look, Everton, do what you could to get this player in, because Anthony Elanga is very exciting, I have to say. But he will thrive a lot more in the Bundesliga. But he could help Everton as well. He could help him. I think it's very unfair what happened to Elanga at United, because I think he was coming through very well, but fell down the pecking order when Ten Hag came to the club. So, yeah. Ten Hag pushing for a long-term contract with Marcus Rashford. Man, he's going to sign the contract. Marcus Rashford's not going anywhere. He's going to be a one-man club. He's going to be at United for life. He joined, came up from the youth team when he was very young in 2016. I remember when I just started playing career mode again back in 2015. And I found a player by the name, going into 2015-16, I found this player I never heard about, Marcus Rashford, no face. He didn't have a high overall rating, but he was scoring a lot of goals. I'm like, oh. Then I went to work, and I heard some Jamaican guy talking about Rashford. Like, you can't be real. When I checked, Rashford broke into the Man United first team, and there's been no turning back since then. So URA Red Diamonds have reached an agreement with Celtic for transfer of Georgios Giacomakis. Understand it's a €4 million package. We're going to keep it moving, man. No need to talk more about this one. But Aston Villa will pay $18 million guaranteed fee for Colombian striker Johan Duran. Add-ons will be included for $4 million max. So, he's joining from Chicago Fire. With that being said, man, big up to Ezra Hendrickson. Is he still the manager of Chicago Fire? I keep saying that. I say that every time I talk about Chicago Fire, because you could get sacked anytime, man. That's the thing. Chicago Fire. You can get sacked anytime, and you can't even keep track of who gets sacked. You really can't. You see what I'm saying? Is my boy Ezra still in? Yeah, Ezra is still in charge. He's from St. Vincent, and today's actually his birthday. So happy birthday to Ezra Hendrickson, though. I was supposed to hit him up and wish him happy birthday. I should do that, right? As a matter of fact, let me go to my Facebook page right now and message him and say happy birthday. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. Let me find this. Let me find this thing. All right. I spoke to him a couple times. We were supposed to do a video, but man, I slacked off, and then he got the big move to Chicago Fire. But I'm pretty sure if I hit him up, he'll respond. So Ezra, message, yeah. Happy birthday, bro, and all the best, and all the best, and all the best with Chicago Fire. All right. You know what I mean? I think he'll see that and be like, oh, wow, it's dumb. So, yeah, man. Yeah, he's from St. Vincent, so he's losing all his players. Gabriel Slonina, Johan Duran, so, yeah. So let's see if he's going to come into Aston Villa and hit the ground running. I don't know if they'll leave him there until the end of the season or if he's going to join right away and try to help out Aston Villa. I don't know. But we spoke about Sarabia already. Let's talk about this one. Tottenham, let's talk about this one. All right. Tottenham will insist again for Pedro Porro deal this week as contacts are still ongoing with intermediaries. Portuguese right back, keen on the move. Well, he's not Portuguese. What are you talking about? Fabrizio, you're losing your mind or something. He plays in the Portuguese league, but he's Spanish. Spanish right back, keen on the moves, but Sporting insists on 45 million euro release clause. New rounds of talks will take place pretty soon. All you got to do is give them a player and get the right back and bring down the fee some more. You know, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of waste players that send Eric Dyer back to Portugal. That's where he's born. Put him in the deal. Pretty sure they could use him. But anyways, man, we're not going to we talked about this already. Let's talk about Mudryk, man. Let's talk about Mudryk. So here it is, right? Shakhtar president Akhmetov. We're proud of Mudryk. We will play a friendly against Chelsea at Donbass Arena in a Ukrainian Donetsk, right? Chelsea FC. I am allocating $25 million today to help our soldiers, defenders, and their families. So $25 million of the fee that Chelsea paid to Shakhtar will be going towards helping Ukraine in the war against Russia, whereas Chelsea was previously owned by a Russian oligarch in Roman Abramovich. Oh, man, the irony. The irony, man. The irony is real. It's real. A Ukrainian player joining Chelsea, walking onto the field, wrapped up in a Ukrainian flag. Oh, man. Oh, man. You talk about the difference between last season and this season, right? Crazy. But Mikhailo Mudryk, guys, big transfer, man. Going all the way up to 100 million euros. I guess including add-ons. And let's go back to the top here. Pretty sure Fabrizio have pinned that because he's been talking about Mudryk a lot. So Chelsea board now in Poland trying to reach verbal agreement with Shakhtar for Mudryk and hijack the deal. Official bid close to 100 million. Arsenal always been leading the race in talks with Shakhtar after third official bid. The thing about Arsenal is that they played around with this deal way too long, right? Way too long. What Arsenal should have done, big up Victor Ojomo, big up. What Arsenal should have done, Arsenal should have just went in big. If they wanted a player, they should have gone in big for the player from the get-go and not beat around the bush and try to offer fucking 30 million and 40 million for the player. How you gonna go from 30 million and 40 million all the way up to 95 million? You see what I'm saying? 30 million, you know, and 40 million all the way up to 95 million, including add-ons. That's a big jump. And Arsenal, they played around way too much. They should have gone in with a very good offer at first, and they would have got this player before Chelsea even came into the picture. But Chelsea saw an opportunity. They had the money, and they went in for the kill, and they got Mudryk. They did the same thing, the same exact thing with João Felix, who was linked with a move to Arsenal on loan. And Chelsea went in with a better offer, the better salary package for both players. Because remember, Chelsea are paying 100% of João Felix's his wages. And Mudryk's, I think, getting 200K a game, 8 million a year. Arsenal wasn't offering that type of money. So that is why Chelsea are attracting the players more than Arsenal. But Chelsea might not be playing Champions League football next season, but players are not even thinking about that. They're thinking, hey, man, I'm going to make more money and potential of playing Champions League maybe seasons to come. Why not? Why not? I wish Mudryk all the best. I like him. But only Jesus knows what's going to happen with Mudryk at Chelsea when guys like Raheem Sterling, Christian Pulisic, all of these guys fit again, and if they in the frame, it's gonna be a tricky headache there for Graham Potter in terms of the selection. But it's a good signing. I prefer the player. I prefer if the player had went to Arsenal, but players are gonna look out for their best interests and more money. They're gonna go to Chelsea, and still, it's not a big difference, right? In terms of like going to Chelsea, going to Arsenal. Maybe right now. But in the future, you know, Chelsea could be back up there again. They won the Champions League a couple of seasons ago. They won a Premier League, a lot of Premier League since Arsenal last won one. They've been in the Champions League many seasons before Arsenal even been in the Champions League since 2016 or so. So, you know, All the best, Mudryk, man. All the best. All the best. And since we touched on the Mudryk thing, let's go down and see if there's any more to actually talk about. And we will, call it a day today. So let's go down. Saliba, yeah, okay. Jude Bellingham. So Borussia Dortmund director Sebastian Kehl said there are no offers at all for Jude Bellingham as of now. Nothing is decided, tells Kicker. We will speak to Jude and his family. No pressure. There are absolutely no proposals. I don't understand why there's no proposals, and I don't believe this. Clubs definitely are looking into signing Jude Bellingham for summer 2023. Do not believe none of these guys. Don't believe it. They just don't want to put their business out there. But trust me, clubs are looking into getting Jude Bellingham. I'm pretty sure Liverpool are probably talking. I'm pretty sure maybe Real Madrid are exploring. Probably have Man City exploring. Man United are probably exploring as well. So don't believe it, man. Don't believe it. Don't believe it at all. Yeah, there have been some controversy around Yusufa Moukoko where there's an article came out and said Moukoko probably, is guilty of age fraud or something, and he's not actually 18 years old right now. He's probably 22. So when he came over from Africa, they kind of messed up his paperwork or something like that, and somebody came out and said that he's not actually 18, he's 22 years old. Oh man, we saw one recently where a player by the name of Silas Wamanga Tika, whatever his name is, that wasn't even his real name, and he was not actually that age or something like that. So a lot when players come over as refugees, their paperwork get changed, their names and their age and date of birth, all kinds of things get mixed up. They might come over as another person, so yeah, man. So Moukoko, we have an important proposal to Yusufa Moukoko. It's up to him now, tells Kicker. Another one. Really hope he accepts our bid. He has really great potential. Otherwise, it means that we will part ways. Moukoko could be on the way out as well. So we talked about Danilo. This one's a new one as well. Bournemouth are set to sign Lorient winger Dango Watura. Agreement in place for fee close to £20 million. Watura will travel to England today in order to complete his move, as called by Mark Madams TV. So give it up to the Burkina Faso international Dango Watura, who did play well at the last African Cup of Nations. That was a year ago. So he is a quality player indeed, and he's young. So not a bad signing by Bournemouth, but is that what they need? They need somebody to put the balls in the back of the fucking net. That's what they need. So RB Leipzig director Christopher Nkunku's future, the signs are very, very clear that he's moving to Chelsea, he told Bill. We can confirm that Nkunku deal is 100% signed. He's Chelsea player as revealed in December, no doubts, will join in July. So Nkunku incoming. Chelsea coming hard next season, man. So Bayern and Borussia Dortmund are discussing again about Borussia Mönchengladbach, about Jan Sommer. Bayern want to push for the deal this week. Nagelsmann asked for a new goalkeeper as soon as possible. Personal terms won't be an issue. It's about the clubs. And there goes Bayern Munich again, trying to poach the best players from their rivals. And you know what? You know what's bad? These players actually want to go to Bayern Munich as well. So yeah. So spoke about Rasmus Hjellen a couple minutes ago there too, but we're not going to get into that right now. And yeah, we're going to leave that right there. So Al Khalij, they're looking to sign Bruno Costa, Portuguese midfielder, and of course Isco, who's now a free agent. So it's going to be more and more of Mudryk. Congrats to Barcelona and the Supercopa winner. And that's about it. Oh yeah, Azadine Onahi deal. Leeds have to decide how to proceed with signings after spending big on Jorginho Rota. Deal not dead, but other clubs moving. Next week expected to be key as Napoli offered 15 million euros to Angers 1 week ago for Azadine Onahi. So yeah, man. Fiorentina is saying that Sofian Amrabat and Nico Gonzalez are not for sale. So who's ever coming in for them? Leicester, Liverpool. We're looking to sign Sofian Amrabat. Atletico Madrid as well. They're not going to get their player. So I think that's about it, right? Yeah, that's about it, guys. It's going to be more and more of Mudryk. We talk about this already. talk about this, talk about this. The crazy thing is, this could have been Mudryk in an Arsenal shirt. That's the thing. Players don't have loyalty. So it is what it is. I'm pretty sure he was fantasizing about playing with Arsenal, but he's posing in a Chelsea shirt. But it is what it is, though. But big up to everybody in the house. Appreciate you guys tuning in to yet another one. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button if you haven't yet done so. Big up to everybody who came out, supported the live streams, who's been supporting the streams this year so far. I know things are a bit quiet over here on Dominic Rich FC, but that's okay. It's quiet, but it's steady. And we're gonna keep dropping them vids for your head top, man. You know, when you least expect it, I'm gonna hit you guys with some serious fire. But look, that's it for today. 3 hours once again. Went down a lot of rabbit holes, but I feel good, and I feel like I've got up to date with, you know, catching up with things around Europe. We talk League 2, League 1, Championship, Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Serie A, Coppa Italia. We spoke about Liga, Supercopa de España. We talked Copa del Rey. We talk La Liga. You know, what more do you want from me, man? We talk a lot about transfers. We went down to talk some news as well. What more you want from me? But big up to everybody who supported the thing. And from your boy Dom, until my next one, peace out. Rich Squad. Peace.